Neyland Stadium has grown over the years, changing with the times. Starting with 3,200 seats in 1921, this stadium has expanded and changed as volunteer football popularity has grown. Today, Neyland Stadium is second to none, with room for over 107,000 wild orange-clad fans. And this year's expectations are higher than ever. Leading the charge is Heisman candidate Peyton Manning, in charge of driving the explosive offense toward maybe a national title. On the receiving end is All-SEC receiver Joey Kent, better than ever. On the ground, Jay Graham will be the workhorse, becoming Tennessee's all-time leading rusher. And looking to shut out the opposition, the best since Reggie White, is Leonard Little. Well, the sun has set on another long summer of practice, and the Vols are ready to hit the field. From Big Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, it's football time. Hi, everybody, I'm Bob Bell, along with the Tennessee legend, Condridge Holloway. Condridge, it's changed a bit since your playing days here, hasn't it?
It really has. The stadium has been enlarged, and it's just beautiful, and people have packed it. We're ready for a great day.
Well, you see there, it is now officially the largest in America. Will the all-time record be broken tonight? Maybe. If not tonight, next week for sure. A lot of pressure on the Vols this year because of the high ranking in the preseason polls. Number one in some, number two in others. So the pressure is there. They'll be led, of course, by the great Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning is the ultimate quarterback. He's the guy that you want leading your team. He is going to lead the Tennessee Vols and make sure that they're in the right situation and call the right plays.
Question is about the offensive line, not about the talent. The talent is there. The question is, will they gel early enough as a unit?
Well, I think they will. A lot of them don't have a lot of playing time, but they have enough, and they will have to gel quickly because they've got some big games back-to-back.
Well, it's going to be an exciting season. There's no question about that. UNLV comes in relatively unknown. We do know their quarterback is a redshirt freshman, so a stunning night for him, I would think.
John Denton is in for a rude awakening with this crowd and the Tennessee defense. They will definitely come after him.
And the defense, is a lot of new guys on the UNLV defense because they got a lot of junior college players to try to shore up what was a bad defense last year. Now, let's check in with our colleague, Missy Kane. Hi, Missy.
It is exciting on the sidelines, especially since I'm standing right in front of the new north end zone. The final piece of the puzzle is now in place. But you know, there were some skeptics that wondered if this would get completed before game day. But the man here in charge of facilities is used to challenges, and he's used to winning. He helped lead UT to its first and only, so far, national title, and he is determined to get the job done 45 years later. This is Bob Davis's home away from home. He's an associate athletic director in charge of facilities. And now, Neyland Stadium is the largest college football facility in the country.
It's pretty nice up there.
A little different from when you played here, isn't it?
Well, when I played, the only thing we had, they had just opened up this south end zone right here, the horseshoe part,
right.
To make it about 46,000 or 47,000. And we thought that was the greatest thing there was. But they did that the first year I was here in 1948.
He played for General Robert Neyland and later went on to coach at UT before going into administration.
My life after football is making sure the field's ready. And I told somebody, since I stopped coaching, I used to worry about the score, and now I worry about scoreboards.
He helped UT score a national championship in 1951 as the Vols starting center. You could throw a mean block.
No, I never blocked anybody, but I held a lot of people.
45 years later, Bob Davis is holding his breath in hopes that this stadium will be ready for game day. The work has been non-stop. He's had hundreds of fires to put out and leaks to plug.
We said we had a leak here. I'll get him over here, and we'll take a look at this and see if we can figure out. Just don't turn the power on, guys.
A sense of humor and his playing days mentality keep him going.
You didn't go out there playing not to lose. You went out there knowing you were going to win.
And now Bob Davis can be proud of being a part of a winning team.
that has now put Neyland Stadium into the record books.
Well, as you can tell, everyone came out for it. Can you see that sign back there? If you build it, they will come. They have definitely come. It's very impressive back here. Talking about the field conditions, it's perfect. Bobby Campbell and his crew have everything set, and you talk about the temperature is ideal. Now, right now, that they wonder what the swirling conditions will be like during game time, Conrad, you probably know better than me.
Be a lot better because
Now, to honor America, would you please join George Beats in singing as the University of Tennessee.
We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Let's go down to the field of Lee for the national anthem right now by the Pride of the Southland Band. Massive sight. Temperature right now is 80. The wind is calm, clear skies. We did have some rain around 3 o'clock today, but that has moved out, and the forecast for the rest of the night is partly cloudy. University of Tennessee has done quite well against WAC teams. The only loss was to Rice in 47, and Rice technically was not in the WAC at that time. They were in the Southwest Conference. Condridge, Missy asked you about when we do have wind, if it will swirl in here, and you don't think so, right?
Well, no, I really don't, because actually, if you'll take a look, there's no wind at all. And with the stadium being built up on the other side, it won't be a factor.
There they are, the 1996 Tennessee Volunteers. Will this be the dream season?
There is a difference in the noise level.
Yes, it is all staying inside. UNLV poised down to the right here from the press box, and they're entering the playing field now. The Rebels of Coach Horton in his 3rd year, and the captains will meet at midfield. We'll have the coin toss, and the 96 season will be underway shortly. There's Coach Jeff Horton in his 3rd year at UNLV, his 1st year as a member of the WAC conference. Opened up by winning the Big West, and then he lost 26 players to graduation and is pretty much having to start all over again. It should be an exciting night here with all the festivities surrounding the game. Prior to the game, a number of athletic and school officials were introduced, representing many years. And at halftime, Condridge will be a part of this. There will be a special ceremony, and this will involve former players. Condridge, it's kind of honoring all of the guys who have ever played here, right?
Yes, it is, and it started last night with a big gala affair, and it was just wonderful. Mitch Barnhart's done a great job putting this together, and along with the help from all of his staff, and it was spectacular last night. I look forward to even better things at halftime.
There's Coach Philip Fulmer in his 5th year at Tennessee, winning 82%. And, of course, the fans expect him to win 100%. So we're just about set for football here at Big Neyland Stadium. The confetti flies, The crowd has been in here for about 3 hours. The stadium almost full around 4 o'clock. And they're certainly anticipating this 1996 season. Tennessee ranked number 2 in both the AP and CNN coaches poll, number 1 in a couple of the magazine polls, and high expectations. But of course, Florida's going to be good, and Georgia and Alabama and Auburn in the Southeastern Conference, and LSU. So it's going to be a typical dogfight from start to finish. It's asking an awful lot of a team, Condridge, to go 13-0. You not only have to be good, you have to be lucky.
You sure do, and you have to get everything, breaks go your way. You have to be very lucky on the injury side. That's the one factor that you really can't prepare for, and you just have to be very fortunate if you don't get the injury bug.
Well, Chris Hogue won the battle this week to determine who would kick off. They don't want Jeff Hall to kick off because they frankly don't want him making a tackle on the kickoff, which he had to do a couple of times last year. Carlos Baker is the key deep man, along with Tony Burton. And so Chris Hogue will kick off, and he gets into it pretty good. It's high, taken on the 5-yard line by Baker. A little bit of running room out to the 25, and there he is nailed by Billy Ratliff and Ronnie Pillow. 20 on the return. Ball is spotted just the length of the football shy of the 25-yard line, and that's where the Rebels of UNLV will put it in play. Taking a look at the Tennessee defense, the entire UNLV team came to the sideline. John Denton is your quarterback. This is his first start. He's a redshirt freshman. Big kid, weighs over 200 pounds, about 6'3". He's got his work cut out. Tennessee with a 4-man front. Denton rolls to his right. Flags go down everywhere, and the play is going to be stopped.
Too much time.
Delay of the game, and Condridge, I guess, for a redshirt freshman, something you might expect.
Well, I think right off the bat, the crowd played a hand in that. He had trouble getting his signals called, and people couldn't hear him. He had to repeat himself. And you can
offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And there was movement up and down the line as well. The offensive line, Glidewell, Riley, Gonzalez, Perucci, and Whitmore. Whitmore's the key man. He's the big youngster we were talking about pregame. And the lineup of receivers and backs. Right now, Denton is going in the shotgun. Stands up, throws out in the flat, gonna be knocked down immediately. Big loss. Tony Burton receiving, Tyrone Hines all over it. Big number 47. Tyrone acted like he heard that one in the huddle.
That didn't fool anybody. That was a good defensive play.
Noel is up there also. Actually, Austin was the first man to hit him. Raymond Austin, and then Tyrone finished it off. Greg King was in the neighborhood too. The Tennessee defensive front led by Duff, and the secondary, it's experienced and talented. Fair is having a sensational fall so far. His practices have been magnificent at cornerback. Here's the handoff. They try to get some running room outside. Do turn the corner for a bit, but knocked out before getting back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is Raymond Austin hitting Darren Footman. Footman is the tailback. They will use about 3, we are told tonight. They like to run out of a 1-back set, but there's been a rumor they might go at times with 2 backs and 2 tight ends, I guess, to try to control the game a bit and keep Peyton off of the field. All right, they're looking now at a 3rd down and 19 situation. Timeout is going to be called. I think UNLV had some confusion about what play had been sent in, Condridge, and better take a timeout rather than a delay.
Well, it looked like that was the case, and that was a good call by the young quarterback to look around and see the clock and see he only had 5 seconds. And of course, you don't like to waste timeouts, but to get yourself in a deeper hole, there's probably a good timeout for him.
Ball is actually on the about the 21-yard line, so they need about 16 for a first down, but a real big down, the first big one for the Tennessee defense and the first real big one for the UNLV offense. Tennessee with some experience on the line. Duff, Barron, they've been there before, but they've got some new guys that you'll be hearing about tonight also. We anticipate seeing Corey Terry, among others. Of course, Leonard Little with a great year last year. Jeff Coleman is one that's in there right now. And we don't anticipate Leonard Little to play a whole lot tonight. Very little, as a matter of fact. He did start the ball game, but chances of him being around much longer are very slim. Well, there shows you what UNLV's defense did last year and the offense. They gave up more points than any team in the nation last year's the bottom line on defense. Did have a few bright moments on offense. Out of the shotgun they go once again. Tennessee with a big rush, and pass is a little too high and wide, intended for Damon Williams. Tennessee had it pretty well defended. Terry Fair.
Little drop back, and as you can see, there will be coming.
Mr. Duff.
You can, excuse me, rest assured that's going to happen frequently today.
Bill Duff said, "Welcome to Neyland Stadium." Oh, that one. And so they'll go into punt formation. Kristasic is in punt formation. Terry Fair back to receive, and it is a nice kick. Fair on the 23-yard line. Got room, and still going. Terry Fair is all the way down to the 25-yard line. The kicker had to make the tackle. The punt was 54 yards. The return was 50.
It's a great job of eluding the first tackler, and then it was just straight up field. You know, Terry Fair will get a lot of accolades for this run, but he'll also get razzed because the kicker tackled him. That's one of the things, that's a cardinal sin.
All right, Peyton Manning steps under at quarterback, and the Vol offense makes its first appearance of the 96 season. The handoff is to Jay Graham, and he gets a little running room down to close to the 20-yard line before he's stacked up. Tennessee expected to run a great deal in this ball game. There's Manning, 6'5", 215, junior. A lot of question about will this be his last year? Will he turn pro? I don't think he knows at this particular time. Once again, the handoff as they try to soften the middle of the defense. Brad Gilbert made the stop along with Tim Black, who is a nose guard. Manning just running straight ahead at the UNLV defense. At times it is a 5-man front, Condridge. At times they drop off one of the ends, and it makes it a 4-man situation with 3 backers. But there you see the big offensive line: Rideau, Poole, Gibson, Robinson, and Trey Teague, who would be considered the leader of that group. All right, Tennessee looking now at a 3rd down and about 4 situation, and Manning goes into the shotgun and completes his pass to Marcus Nash down close to the 15-yard line. There's number 12, Marcus Nash. Taking a look at Tennessee's backs and receivers. Graham, of course, and Ford in the backfield. Moore at tight end, and Kent and Nash are the receivers. And the UNLV defensive front, Sawyer, perhaps the best of that bunch. And their secondary, Webster, Sanders, Stewart, and Hume. Sanders, the free safety, is the most mobile of the group. All right, Tennessee with a 2-back set. They give it to the tailback, Jay Graham, and he pile drives over his left guard and goes inside the 15-yard line. Is this a test of the offensive line right here, Condridge?
That's exactly what's happened. They're going to establish the line of scrimmage. They're hoping that the Tennessee offensive line can take over and be the aggressor, and they're giving the offensive line every opportunity to take over this game from the beginning.
All right, Manning is standing behind that offensive line right now, looking at a 5-man front. And Tennessee goes straight up the gut. Touchdown, Jay Graham. Jay Graham goes all the way, and Condridge, the offensive line, gets an A on that one.
They sure do. That was a perfectly executed play, and like I said before, they're going to be tested all day, and that's something that the only question mark that the offense really has is how that offensive line is going to gel, and they'll get every opportunity tonight.
The snap. Jeff Hall's extra point is on the way. It is good, and Tennessee breaks on top at the 10:51 mark in the first quarter by a score of 7-0. Terry Fair's great punt return set it up. 5 plays covering 26 yards, and it consumed 2 minutes and 15 seconds. There's a look.
That is just a great blocking job. Huge hole there.
And another angle. You saw a lot of guys reaching, and you know the blocking has been good when you see that. Let's go down to Missy on the sidelines. Missy?
See, Coach Fulmer.
All right, there's Coach Philip Fulmer. We'll hear from Missy a little bit later. Actually, Jay Graham's coach is here. We met him, his high school coach, just prior to the game, and I imagine he's smiling from ear to ear right now.
He was smiling like a proud papa down there before the game.
All right, Hogue kicks off, and it's going to be deep to Burton. Out to the 5, the 10. Hello. The tackle was made by Eric Westmoreland. That is a true freshman.
Great block by Chester Ford right there, number 20. If you'll see right there, that's an excellent block, and that just opens the hole for Jay Graham, and that's a perfect execution.
Well, Westmoreland stepped in real quick to make his presence known. A true freshman who came in as a defensive back but has been moved to linebacker, and of course operating now on the special teams. All right, UNLV unable to do anything offensively. Its first attempt will step back, try the short pass in the flat, and it's incomplete. Intended for Damon Williams, and behind him. A lot of people are watching in the comfort of their home, others at more lively places, and we did get a fax here from the folks in Jacksonville, Florida at Wing It. A lot of people down there are watching it, so wherever you are.
That's Ray Nettle country down there.
Ray may be there.
He probably is. He probably sent the fax.
All right, let's take a look at the offense once again and the Tennessee defense. 2nd down and 10. Incomplete pass on the first attempt, and now Denton will step back in the shotgun, and he's in trouble. He got out of it for a moment. Now he just simply throws it away.
That was close to being a safety.
Ron Green was the man putting the big pressure on him. Jonathan Brown was also in there. And there's Duff, who's coming out of the ball game right now. Take a look at it, Condridge.
Well, he knows he's in trouble, but this is awful close to being a safety, because when you try to throw the ball away and ground it and you're in danger of being tackled in the end zone, they can call an automatic safety on you.
Duff, Green, the tackles who are in there right now, both were all over him along with Jonathan Brown. Duff actually had the ankle as he was going down. So they're looking now at 3rd down and 10. In the shotgun again and sending a man in motion bottom of the screen. He's looking for that man. Throws a little throwback here and not much there. Carlos Baker tried to go against the grain out in the flat and then back against the grain to, I guess, Condridge try to slow down Tennessee's great pursuit.
Tell you, this is just a little underneath screen, but the UNLV receivers are really running kind of tentatively. They look like they're I don't know. That's not a good sign so early in the game.
That's Torrey Noel, number 9, delivering the big blow there. Terry Fair was in there also. Christosic will be back to punt on a 4th and 10 situation. Terry Fair signals for, I thought he signaled for the fair catch, and I believe that's what they're going to say. And then he ran with the ball, so it may be a penalty.
That's a penalty.
46 yards, no return. He signaled fair catch and then took off. You can't do that. Tennessee will have the ball even after the penalty in pretty good shape. There's Fair.
A little excited there.
Yeah, kind of smiling. He knows a little mistake he might have made. That was Coach Ramsey with him.
Oh, little face mask there too, but that was a little face mask grab, but that didn't count because the penalty had already been made by Quincy Sanders. Got a little mask there.
Is a free safety, and he did get a piece of the mask, but Terry had already made the mistake. So Tennessee's backed up, and they put the ball in play at their 32-yard line.
Boy, they're lined up off sides.
Yeah, this left end appears to be a yard over the line of scrimmage. And he got away with it.
Oh, and flags down. Flags down here on the bottom.
Jay Graham carrying the football. Or did he? Did he get away with it, Condridge? I don't believe he did.
There's a flag down right there. That was an obvious mistake.
Jay Graham carrying it, and Brett Gilbert, who's been the most active of their defenders so far, linebacker, wears number 58. You'll be seeing him pop up from time to time. He's playing pretty well. It appeared that the left end lined up way offside. Not even in the neutral zone. He was beyond that.
That's
Tennessee.
A little veteran move there by Jarvis Rito, because he can line up a little bit off the ball, and he lined up there again.
2nd down and 5. Manning going downtown. Joey Kent. Flag on the play. Hold everything.
It's offsides. It's offsides UNLV.
63 yards. Joey Kent has just become the all-time touchdown reception leader at Tennessee. That touchdown catch makes Kent UT's all-time leader in touchdown catches, 19. The old record was held by Corey Fleming. So Tennessee now will have Mark Ingram snap the ball. Price will hold it, and Jeff Hall will kick it. It's on the way, and it is good. Well, that was a message to all future opponents right there, Condridge.
Well, that was a message, and it will be heard loud and clear around the league. I tell you, that combination will do that more times than not. And what happened was the Tennessee offense has established the running game and started pounding. What happened, the secondary just got caught looking in the backfield. They're looking at run and just a little play action fake there. They're looking in the backfield. Peyton Manning looks left, throws right, perfect strike. Joey Kent runs under it and makes him the leader.
How pretty can it get? Another angle. Kent all alone. And
Joey Kent will be the toast of Huntsville now. I can give my title up.
one play, 63 yards, took 15 seconds.
Kick it off, Chris Cole.
All right, Tennessee is set now to kick off once again, and Jermaine Webster is deep along with Del Bates. And just total chaos down there for UNLV. Ronnie Pillow once again, the converted receiver, down to make the play, but flags are down. We're trying to determine what that is. We'll get the official ruling in a moment. We're still in the first quarter, 9:26 to go. Tennessee on top 14-0. Glad to have you with us on this season opener. It's like holding against UNLV. Or illegal use of the hands. Probably pushing in the back.
Penalty, half the distance. 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line.
It was pushing or blocking in the back. So UNLV is backed up as a result of that. Their offense has been totally dormant so far. Here they're rolling left, trying to fire out, and in the flat, Lynn Ware pays the price. Torrey Noel. What a hitter.
He can put a helmet on you.
Test.
He very well may wind up sometime during the season playing some linebacker. Take a look at this stick by Torrey Noel coming up from safety. Woo. UNLV 6 passes, 1 run. Trying to do it through the air, which is a little surprising. Now they roll back in the end zone, fire out there, incomplete. Really tremendous pressure. Tony Burton, the intended receiver, Torrey Noel over defensively. But Tennessee put great pressure on the quarterback, as they're going to do all night long.
Tennessee defense is hitting everything that moves. I mean, they are really striking people right now.
You got Coleman in there now. You've got Ratliff. Ron Green is in, and Corey Terry is now in the ball game, number 22 for Tennessee. Al Wilson at one linebacker. Okay, Tennessee defensively now looking at a 3rd and 10 situation, pretty well knowing that UNLV is going to have to go to the air again. They're 0-2 in 3rd down conversions thus far. Here's the quarterback out in the flat, and no way. Raymond Austin up from a corner to make the stop. Tony Burton. There he is, Joey Kent, Tennessee's all-time touchdown reception leader with 19. And folks, it is not over yet.
It's merely the beginning.
He and Peyton should hook up many times. Verstocke will be in the back of the end zone. That foot almost on the line, and Terry Fair is standing up here inside the 45-yard line. Gets away a high kick, relatively short, and this is a fair catch, and this time Terry does not move with the football after the catch. So Tennessee will take over at that spot. Ball is on the 30-yard line. It was a 30-yard punt. Tennessee leading 14-0 over UNLV in the first period here in Knoxville. We do not know the crowd. That will be announced later, but it is over 100,000. It is over 102. All right. 4-man front this time defensively. Manning hands off, fakes a handoff, then rolls out. Oh, had his receiver wide open. Just a little too hot on that one, I guess, Condridge.
I think he'd like to have that one back. That was so wide open, it was almost just like a gimme, but a little high.
Take a look. Andy McCullough is the intended receiver, and even Andy, who's a pretty tall guy, could not reach that one. All right, Manning once again will go with a one-back set. 4 wideouts this time. So they're probably going to put it in the air again. Little soft one on the left side to Dustin Moore. Let's see the big tight end rumble, and he goes for a first down. Quincy Sanders made the stop of Dustin Moore. He brings Condridge a different dimension to the Tennessee offense. Dustin Moore brings a different dimension.
Yes, he does. He's a big tight end, big target, and he's got some speed. And when you got that good motor like that, people really, you're very impressive when you're a big target, especially down the middle of the field.
First down and 10 to go for the Volunteers. They're sitting on the 24-yard line, trying to go in for their 3rd score of the night. The handoff goes to Jay Graham. Big hole, and he drags people with him down to about the 12-yard line. Quincy Sanders, free safety. Let's go down to Missy. Hi, Missy.
Well, I've got my own statistician right next to me, Jay Graham's high school coach, E.Z. Smith. Now, how many yards does he have?
6 carries, 40 yards, 1 touchdown.
And you got Z with you, too, the Z family. This is Z Smith. What grade are you in?
8th.
8th grade. Talk about Jay. You've known him since he was a freshman in high school.
1989, Jay came to us, Concord High School in North Carolina. We used him as a running back. This next year as a sophomore, we moved him up to the varsity. Started all 14 games. We ended up going 10-4. He rushed for 500 yards. His junior year, he rushed for 1775, and his senior year, 1766. A little over 4,000 yards, 52 touchdowns. He's our all-time single season and career rushing leader.
I know you expect great things from him, this being his last year.
Well, Missy, we're real proud of him. But I will say this, in spite of everything, he is a great football player, but he's a better person than he is a football player.
You are too. Thanks so much for coming down. I'll send it back up the stairs.
All right, thank you, Missy. The pass complete to Marcus Nash. It is now a first down and goal to go at the 2-yard line. Two-back set, the handoff to Jay Graham. Touchdown, Tennessee. There's the big Tennessee offensive line coming off the field.
Just a little off-tackle play. Blocking's pretty good upstairs, right up front at the point of attack. And you can't ask for any better. If you take a look at the offensive line, they've established the line of scrimmage past the goal line. So that's what you want to do, get that drive block out and make the play.
Trey Teague looked like delivered the key block that time. All right, Jeff Hall. Price holds, and Hall puts it through there. And it is a 21-0 Tennessee lead with 7:38 remaining in the quarter. Here in Knoxville, the confetti continues to fly. Jeff Hall, who had in the preseason a little back problems, but that has been corrected. He is feeling fine. There you see Jay Graham plowing in with good blocking on the left side. 5 plays, 35 yards, consumed 57 seconds, capped by the 2-yard Jay Graham run. I would think before too much longer we may see Jay Graham on the sidelines.
Well, I would give him to the half. I think that he might last to the half unless there's 2 more drives like that one.
Well, Condridge, Tennessee's 3 touchdowns have taken a total of 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
Things are working well on offense, you could say.
Say they're healthy right now.
That's right.
Chris Hogue will kick off. And UNLV will try once again to get some decent field position. Del Bates and Carlos Baker are deep for the Rebels out of the WAC conference. This is their first game, of course. Tennessee's next opponent, UCLA, does not play this week, so Tennessee at a little bit of a disadvantage. UCLA can see them. They can't see what UCLA's got. And UCLA, by the way, has got a brand new coaching staff, so it's somewhat of a mystery coming in next week. All right, it's taken by Baker. Steps across the 10. Still on his feet. Pretty decent return. Finally knocked down shy of the 30-yard line by Ronnie Pillow. I think Pillow's made every single tackle on the kick returns here. Corey Gaines was in on that as well. Getting some pretty good height, Condridge, on his kicks.
He is getting good height. He's not getting a lot of depth, but the height is what you want on a kickoff to get down and under and cover the kick well.
Here you see Pillow, number 3. There's the other big advantage for Tennessee. Here's Denton trying the middle of the line. A little bit of daylight that time as DeJon Branch making his first appearance at tailback. Picks up a little bit of yardage, about 5 to be exact, so it'll be 2nd and 5. Even though he was blocked, Wilson still was in on the tackle.
It's nothing wrong with getting blocked. It's staying blocked is the problem. So you have to fight off the blockers and make the play.
Tennessee cornerbacks dancing around a little bit, trying to confuse Denton. Linebackers cheating up to the line of scrimmage, and the tailback just simply falls down. DeJon Branch fell flat of his face. Lost a yard or 2. The quarterback for a redshirt freshman is Denton, doing fairly well. He just doesn't have a whole lot of help up front right now.
Well, he's conducting business as well as possible. I think what he's going to have to do, though, they know right now that they're going to have to throw the football. They're trying to eat up a little clock, keep the Tennessee offense off the field by running the football, but to get back in this one, they will have to put it in the air.
3rd down, out of the shotgun. Denton goes out in the flat, and a nice open field tackle by Raymond Austin. No question about Raymond's ability to play the corner. He has been a safety, of course, at Tennessee. They moved him to corner, and he's handling it quite well.
They've really thrown a lot of passes, secure passes to the flats and to the and screens, which are not high percentage passes, so they're not going to put a lot of pressure on their young quarterback. They're letting him do things that are fairly simple and safe.
Kristosic will have to punt again, and again UNLV fails to make the first. He gets off a rocket. Terry Fair backs up to about the 17, looks for the sidelines, and gets a little bit of yardage back up to about the 28-yard line before Quincy Sanders made the stop. That's a 46-yard kick. Well, so far that's what UNLV is doing best in this ball game, is punting, and they're getting a lot of experience at that. 5:26 remaining in the quarter. Tennessee on top 21-0 against the Rebels of UNLV. They're taking on some pretty tough folks this year. Brigham Young, of course, is in the conference with them. They play Wisconsin out of the Big Ten, Air Force, Wyoming, teams like that in the WAC. So they've got a tough road ahead. Driving is Mark Levine from tailback, making his first appearance, and Mark crosses the 30 and all the way up to about the 35-yard line before he is stopped. Quincy Sanders made the stop from safety. There's Joey Kent, who's still in the ball game.
UNLV would suggest that they get lined up. They're
Benji
looking
Schuler
over.
has come in now. Tennessee's got 3 wideouts this time, and they come out in the flat. Try that little quick hitch out here too, Schuler, and it's up to about the 40-yard line. There's Benji, the younger brother of Heath, of course, out of North Carolina. Scott Patton made the stop.
Tennessee ran a little hurry-up offense that time, and the UNLV defense was still trying to get a play in from the sideline. They weren't lined up yet. Just as in this instance right here, if that ball snapped, there's nobody covering the wide receivers. They finally out.
Condridge, like Tennessee, is trying to show a number of things here, I guess, to make UCLA work on a number of things this week.
Make them prepare for a lot of stuff.
Here comes the little hitch out to Kent. Nice little juke, and he gets up to the 50. Maybe a yard across. Joey Kent. He's got to move after he catches the football.
Joey is an excellent runner after catching the football. This is just a little quick hitch out to the flat, and this is natural ability, folks. Make them miss. Good cut block there by Chester Ford.
Chester is doing the job. Here's the pitch back to Levine. Levine is fighting down to the 45-yard line. Mark Levine, they'd like to see him come on and be able to relieve Jay Graham some the season ahead. Also, Bryson, we're going to be seeing some of him later. Brett Gilbert and Dan Stewart made the stop defensively for the Rebels. There's Peyton. 6 out of 7. All right, there's Manning's record, and he's going to break more. And Tennessee slips here. Mark Levine. We did have some rain this afternoon, so there may be just a little slippery condition here or there on the field, because we've seen 2 backs slip and fall. One on Tennessee, one on UNLV. There you see him. He tried to sort of plant at the last second, and feet just flew out from under him. Of course, we're playing on the real thing, real grass. The dreaded wave is going through the stadium here, and 100,000 plus can make a big wave. Tennessee with 2 wideouts and a slot on the right side, and Manning standing in with plenty of time, and off the hands of Dustin Moore. Well, Dustin, you should have had that one.
Got to make that catch. Got to make that catch.
Larry Binion will be punting for the first time for Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Maybe take the gloves off. Binion is standing on his 39-yard line. Carlos Baker is deep to receive. out of Mesa, Arizona. Kind of angles it over here on the side. Not a great punt.
Little drop back, no pressure. Got a chance to look down the middle of the field. There's still not a UNLV player in sight, so that's fun to play quarterback when you get that much time and there's nobody in your face.
Punt covered 39. And UNLV goes on offense, trailing Tennessee now with 2:24 to go in the first quarter by a score of 21-0. It's been relatively easy for Tennessee, except for the last offensive series there. Of course, Moore dropped the pass open, or he would have been in the end zone. Here's Denton lining up under center this time, not in the shotgun. Quick handoff and a quick hit by Tennessee, as Branch unable to get any daylight at all. Al Wilson filled the hole. Al Wilson, outside linebacker, tremendous athlete. There you see him just knife in, and Green is right there too. There's Al out of Jackson, Tennessee. Probably bigger than the 222 that is listed in the program, but he can still move.
He's another one's got a great motor. Just can run.
They even considered using him at one time as a kick return man. That's how fast he is.
Linebacker / kick returner. That'd be different, wouldn't it?
A little unusual. Denton back to throw. Got a little time, but got nobody open. In fact, Tennessee balls were the closest to the ball. Damon Williams was the intended receiver. Raymond Austin was back there with him, along with most of the secondary. And again, he gets knocked down, and you keep knocking down the guy. That's Nick Jester who did that. Eventually, it gets to be kind of tiring. And I think Tennessee's going to hit him just about every time, whether he's got the ball or not. He's got two wideouts at the top, one at the bottom of the screen here, and he goes in the shotgun. Man in motion, who I think crossed the line of scrimmage too quick.
Well, he started going upfield, and that's illegal. You have to stay parallel to the ball before the ball snaps. So
yep. Baker, the receiver there, and Al Wilson again on top of it. But the man who was in motion turned upfield, and I believe we'll have a call against UNLV. Can't.
That was borderline, a little late.
Yeah, Jonathan Brown.
That's what they called.
Here's a final score and a shocker already in the Southeastern Conference. Southern Mississippi has defeated Georgia 11-7.
Ouch.
Coach Donnan off to kind of a rocky start.
Wow.
Ray Goff may be saying, hey, I could have done better than that. But Georgia's still a very dangerous team, and Tennessee's got to go there this year between the hedges.
Between the new hedges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, UNLV looking now at a 3rd down and 10 situation. And throwing again in that flat, and again, I don't know if he made it to the marker or not. Yeah, they're going to say he did. Carlos Baker, it looked like Terry Fair had gotten him out of bounds, but he stretched it out there, and that's their first down. It comes with a 1:21 left in the first quarter of play. Take a look.
Well, the one thing that UNLV is doing, because they're getting so much pressure, they're taking a quick drop and throwing the ball on time and very fast. So they're trying to avoid the rush that way by throwing the short routes.
Pretty good athletic move right there.
That's a great play to get the first down.
All right, Denton, first time he's looked up and had a first down. This time they send DeJohn Branch into the line of scrimmage, and he gets met and racked up pretty good by Al Wilson and by Ron Green. Al Wilson looking extremely good here in the first quarter of play. Coach Fulmer has said he has a chance to be one of the all-time great linebackers at Tennessee, and of course Tennessee has produced many outstanding linebackers.
That is a big chore. That's a great compliment.
Split backfield this time. 2 receivers out.
Reverse.
They're going to try a reverse. Oh, big loss. Tennessee waiting for that. Lynn Ware had no chance at all. I think it was Jonathan Brown. Nick Juster was probably there also, along with Steve Johnson. Let's take a look.
That's a great job just to get the handoff because he was on his way down. Little reverse.
Yeah, quarterback actually got a block in that time. He's a big youngster, weighs about 210, and now he's decided he can block. He's looking at a 3rd and 10.
Need to stick with that other job of playing quarterback, though. That's
The first quarter has come to an end. The official steps in and signals the end of the quarter. And the giant crowd here at Neyland Stadium in a good mood right now as their Tennessee Vols are leading in this ball game 21-0, and they have been totally in command. UNLV has picked up only 1 first down and have been bottled up totally in their end of the field. Let's go down on the field now for a word from Missy.
Big Kevin Mays, co-captain 94 team. Kevin, you've kind of gone through a tough time. I know you blew out your ankle right before the draft. You've overcome it, though, so far.
Right. I tore up my knee about 6 weeks before the draft, and it was a career-ending injury that left me paralyzed below my knee. But, you know, things happen for a reason. I've made the best out of it. Finished up school.
You're an investment broker, J.C. Bradford, big time.
I'm working as an investment broker with J.C. Bradford, so I have a good career ahead of myself. And thank God I took care of my degree.
Big point with you, I know, and you've got a lot of buddies still out there playing. What do you think about the Vols so far, Kevin?
Well, I think it's a great way to open up the season. You know, a lot of people say, well, they should open with somebody else a little bit tougher, but I'll tell you what, when you play in the Southeastern Conference, it's always good to play an opponent like this at the first of the season so that you can get something under your belt.
How about offensive linemen this year protecting Peyton? Peyton's got a great career ahead of him.
Well, experience is the name of the game, and as the season goes along, they're going to get better every game.
All right, thanks, Kevin, so much. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Missy. Let's take a look there at the sideline. Coach Horton and his staff, 3rd year at UNLV, 9-14 overall. Actually a graduate. I played some at Arkansas, but graduated, got his doctorate degree from Reno. Damon Williams comes up with a pretty good play right here. And a first down for the Rebels. Let's take a look at that one, Condridge.
Little roll out, little great throw and catch here. Tennessee defender took a chance at that one.
Raymond Austin.
Raymond Austin took a chance at trying to make the interception, and good concentration.
So they pick up their 2nd first down. First play of the 2nd quarter. Denton has the ball at the 41-yard line, and Tennessee's Al Wilson all over to John Branch. Al Wilson showing his speed and quickness right there. In the first quarter, Tennessee, we'll go over the stats in a second after we take a look at that play again.
That was just a great defensive effort.
Tennessee with 42 yards running. There's Big Al in the first quarter. UNLV with 13. Tennessee 105 passing. UNLV 11. 147-24, the difference offensively. All right, looking at a 2nd and 14 right now. And this will be once again big trouble. Torrey Noel hit John Branch.
I'm sure he'd like to have that one back.
There's Torrey.
That was a good break on the ball. Ball was thrown a little bit behind. I can see why Mr. Dutton didn't follow through with that when he tried to throw it off his back foot and didn't get enough zip on it.
There's Torrey. He is probably the heaviest hitter, although all of the Tennessee defensive backs are what you call heavy hitters. But Noel really thrives on that. Tennessee in their normal 4-man front with 3 backers, and the corners right up on the line. Out of the shotgun, Denton fires, and it's complete. A beautiful play down the sidelines is Lynn Ware. Tennessee got burned on that one. Steve Johnson made the stop. Torrey Noel was also there.
This was just a great throw right into the zone. That was a 2-deep zone, and that was a great read, great throw.
They said Tennessee's cornerbacks had come right up on the line, and Ware was able to get behind him. All right, Tennessee crowd hollering for the defense right now as UNLV's in scoring range. Denton under the quarterback. Handoff, not much, 2-3 yards. Second effort got him another yard or so. To John Branch, running out of the tailback position. A lot of the UNLV players, the majority of the team, as a matter of fact, is from the state of California. Bill Duff and Corey Terry were the primary tacklers that time. Here's the brain trust of Tennessee, Coach Fulmer and his staff looking at a situation here that they're not especially pleased with. They would like very much to dig in and put a stop to this. 11th play of the drive coming up. And nothing doing this time. The John Branch had nowhere to go. Jeff Coleman, Al Wilson making the stop. Defensive end and linebacker.
I'll tell you, the Tennessee defense is reestablishing that line of scrimmage. Whenever you see defensive linemen on the other side of the ball, you know they've taken control and challenged the offensive lineman and probably won the battle right there.
All right, it's 3rd down and 7. Again, the Tennessee defense is called on by the crowd. One back set, man in motion. He's probably going to roll and throw. He throws to his left and out of the end zone. Tennessee may be tagged with interference, though. Torrey Noel was pretty close and may have been face guarding. As a matter of fact, Carlos Baker was the intended receiver. He and Noel in the battle in the corner. And let's see what the official rules here. Well, aggressive players like Noel will get caught sometimes. Condridge?
Well, what happened to him on that play is that he was the recipient of a, well, it had to be a legal pick because it wasn't called, but they ran a little pick play.
On the defense. By rule, the penalty puts the ball on the 2-yard line. First down.
First down and goal.
The man in motion ran a little pick play, and there are some hands involved there. It probably was a first face guarding.
And Tennessee with a solid hit. Did John Branch maybe got a yard? Down to close to the 1-yard line. Billy Ratliff and Craig King made the stop. Denton looks to the sidelines for the play, which will come in here. UNLV would like desperately to get on the board right here. Craig King really with a crushing side tackle there, coming in from the side, nailing a Branch. But it's a yard away from the end zone, and it's 2nd down. There's Noel coming right up to the line of scrimmage. They try the middle, nothing. Lost a half a yard. The John Branch stood up and racked.
They will have to throw the football to score, I think.
Jonathan Brown, big number 91.
The Tennessee defensive line is just reestablishing that line of scrimmage. It's about a yard behind the offensive line of UNLV, which is not very good on a goal line situation.
All right, we're down now at 2. Trailing 21-0. Probably going to try a rollout left or right and get away from the Tennessee defense as much as possible. He's rolling to his right, looking, and a whistle, and they're going to stop play.
Well, I'll tell you, the UNLV Rebels had 2 guys wide open in the end zone. Down here in the right corner, there were 2 guys and 1 defender. That was
on the offense.
The crowd played a bit in this one, I tell you.
They were 3 of 3 have been in this drive on 3rd down. So the penalty sets it back now to the, makes it a 3rd down and 7. 7-yard line is the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 7. Tennessee certainly knows they're going to throw right here. And timeout's going to be called. Denton steps in, decides he doesn't like the way things look on defense, and just calls a timeout, their 2nd timeout of the half. 10:43 remaining in the first half of play. Tennessee 21, UNLV nothing. The Vols next week will catch UCLA. The CBS team is here. Jim Nance and Donahue to kind of practice tonight. Let's go down to Missy on the sidelines.
Conridge, I've got your old buddy on TV with me right now, Larry Sievers. Larry, we were just chatting. I looked up, you had the number 3 career receptions, and Joey Kent needed 2 more, and I think he's gotten 3.
I don't think I'll be anywhere close to him by the end of this year. That was a great pass and catch on that long one, and with Manning at quarterback and the offense they run, the sky's the limit.
What do you think? I think its play has changed since you were playing. We're the same age. I'm not saying you're old, but it's changed a little bit since then.
Yeah, it really has. You know, somebody asked me the other day, they said you'd catch 1 million catches if you played now. I said I wouldn't make the team with these guys now.
Big guys out there.
Oh, there's a lot of speed, a lot of athletic ability, and it's fun to watch them play. Tonight, you know, they're not playing anybody tonight, and we all know that, but still, just the athletic ability they got still shows.
Talk about athletic ability. You and Conridge, I hear you guys are running out on the field together.
Yeah. Conridge told me last night to be sure and go slow.
Okay, back to you, Conridge.
All right, it's 3rd down and 7 to go. Pass into the corner of the end zone, way too high. Well covered by Tennessee. Damon Williams was the intended receiver. That's a timing pattern where you try to lob it in the corner. Conridge, and it was lobbed way too high.
First thing you can't do on that pattern, and as a quarterback, you've got to give yourself a chance to completion. This ball was thrown out of bounds. So, I mean, that's just not a good throw. There was no chance of ever scoring on that because it was thrown out of bounds.
Marshall Matthews will attempt a field goal. The ball will be spotted at the 16, making it a 26-yard effort, and it is good. And so UNLV is on the board. Comes with 10:35 remaining in the half. Tennessee leading 21-3. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen, the Citrus Bowl against Ohio State in the rain in Orlando. The biggest play of the game, I guess. Bill Duff. Ohio State trying to drive in for a big score right here. And watch number 50.
George, I don't know, sir. I do not know. Tennessee pounds him at the line. And it was Bill Duff at the bottom of the heap. He did not make it.
That, of course, was against the Heisman Trophy winner and a man who's playing quite well now for the Oilers. There you have it. It is the big house, the biggest house. And there's the population, although I think we, many times this season, will go over that population.
Oh, yes.
Stretch it a little bit.
Starting next week.
All right, Tennessee will be receiving now. For the first time, Tim O'Reilly will kick off, and Sean Bryson will be the deep man. UNLV drive, 14 plays, 79 yards, consumed a lot of time. That's a big plus for UNLV. Took 6:36 off the clock. All right, we'll take a look at Bryson. He had a great spring practice, and he's had a good fall practice. We'll be seeing him some tonight as a running back, but right now he's a kick returner. And it's a pretty good kick all the way down to about the 3-yard line. Here comes Bryson out of there. Cuts upfield and gets across the 20. Nice return up to around the 27-yard line. Roderick Jones, a linebacker, made the stop. There's Sean. He's up to about 218 pounds now, and he hasn't lost any speed. Gained some weight and some muscle, but still has pretty decent speed. Good blocking on the return.
Pretty good blocking up front.
All right, Tennessee now, after seeing UNLV drive downfield and kick a field goal, let's see if they can answer. Peyton Manning is still your quarterback, and Sean Bryson, I believe, is in at tailback right now.
Well, this could be a biggie.
Here he comes.
We got a clip call, though.
It's going to go all the way, but a flag is down.
It's a clip.
Dustin Moore has gone the distance, but they probably will call it back with a clip.
They call the clip on Joey Kent. He was making a good effort to block, and the defensive back turned his back on him, and he continued to block, and the officials saw the end result. They didn't see the beginning.
Well, there, ladies and gentlemen, you see the dimension that Dustin Moore brings to this team. A big guy who can run. And I mean run. Well, you saw him outrun the secondary of UNLV, and very few tight ends can outrun any secondary. And granted, this is not the best one in the world, but still the guys can move pretty good back there. We'll take a look. Dustin probably will be all over Joey about this.
Well, we didn't get it in our graphic, but it was.
There's the flag.
Well, might not have been Joey. It looked like number 6.
Could have been Copeland. Jermaine Copeland, who's, of course, a quarterback slash receiver. Really, he's a receiver slash quarterback in that order. But he's an outstanding athlete. Peyton now brings his team back and sends right up the middle Sean Bryson. Bryson gets up to, well, they pull it back to about the 28-yard line. Greg Kales, the linebacker, made the stop. Tennessee moving people in and out. There's Joey Kent. You might figure a second down and 4. Let's see if they try to quick strike right here or stay on the ground and punish in that way. 9:42 remaining in the second quarter of play. 21-3. Hand off to Bryson, and Bryson rumbles up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. There's big number 24, another one of those players from North Carolina. Been a lot of them down through the years, Condridge, who've contributed greatly to Tennessee.
Sure have. And in fact, one of my old buddies at the game tonight, Haskell Standback, he's in the stands tonight. That's another one of the long North Carolina traditions, Kannapolis, North Carolina.
It's still short of the first down, third down, and no more than a yard. I would suspect Bryson again.
Man coverage.
There he is, spinning for what appears to be the first down. Sean Bryson hit again by linebacker Greg Kales, but this time he got enough for the first down.
Well, I tell you, that's a great individual effort because nobody touched 44, and he just didn't make the tackle because he was in a position to make a tackle. Greg Gales was, and he just didn't make it. And great individual effort.
That spin move is very much like Jay Graham makes at times.
Yeah.
Sean's been watching. 2-back set for the Vols. Here's the pass over the middle. It is caught beautifully by Marcus Nash, who was really racked. But hey, that's what they talk about. Can you catch it over the middle in traffic knowing you're going to get hit? You saw the answer. He can.
Just a little play action pass which froze the linebackers. Once you get behind the linebackers and there's deep coverage, there's a big hole there. Marcus Nash found it. Peyton Manning put the ball right there.
Marcus is a pretty big guy for a receiver, 6'3", out of Oklahoma. 19 yards it covered on that play. Manning rolls to his right and throws and completes it. Short catch out there by Peerless Price. Getting a first look at him tonight. Peerless is one of those guys that they expect to get better and better each game. He's had a pretty good fall practice. Of course, Kent and Nash are the big guns, but you got to have some others come along, and Price is one of them. Kyler will be back next week. He's sitting out a one-game suspension. He has great potential as well. Tennessee with 3 wideouts this time, 2 here at the bottom of the screen. 2-back set.
This looks like it might be a checkoff.
Manning taking a lot of time. UNLV up virtually a 5-man front right now. Manning with a quick pop, read it perfectly, and Tennessee's down inside the 30-yard line. There's Jermaine Copeland.
Yes.
Great athlete out of Harriman, Tennessee. Was a great high school basketball player. In fact, was MVP when his team won the state tournament. Has had to play some quarterback at Tennessee because of the inexperience. T. Martin, of course, is the quarterback of the future, but T is very, very new to this system. And Sean Snyder is another guy who hasn't played a whole lot, although we may see both of those guys tonight. Here's the handoff, or fake a handoff. Beautiful fake. Beautiful play. Marcus Nash to the 1-foot line. Manning really hid the ball beautifully. Faked it to his right, rolled to his left. Hey, Condridge, that's another one that fans and coaches ahead will have to file away in their memory.
That's a good, well-executed play. It's just a little trail pattern, and the extra effort there was just fantastic. And I know Mr. Nash probably thinks he should have gotten the end zone, and maybe he should have.
Well, he got within about 6 inches. The play covered 28 yards. Got the power back set, and they pound it in. Mark Levine, and he's in for the touchdown. Chester Ford led him through the hole. As the Vols rack up 6 more to make it now 27-3 with the extra point coming up. He broke the plane, still being pushed around there, but he broke the plane, and that's all it takes. Ingram will snap, and Jeff Hall will boot it through, we suspect. Hey, we were right. It's 28-3 now in favor of the Vols with 6 minutes 54 seconds to go in the first half. Down to Missy King.
Great running back from 69, 71 era. I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah,
this is the first time you've been down here for a while.
Well, first time on the sideline in 20-something years, yes.
Now, I got to tell people now, Kurt is number 3 right now in career rushing, but you think it's going to change?
Soon to go to 4. I'm sure by the end of this season, Jay Graham will surpass Johnny Jones and I. And we were just kind of kidding about that last night. But the whole thing about records is that they are broken. And when we have people like Jay Graham breaking our records, then we're winning football games, and that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I know Conrad and Bob probably remember this, but you flew with the Blue Angels a couple of years.
Matter of fact, got a chance to fly Conrad one day. Let him tell you about that. We're up in Toronto, but yes, I did for 4 years.
And your lovely family's with you for
my
all
wife
the
Devin is here. They're up in Section C. My 2 boys, Dustin and Lee, and our oldest is here in school.
Can't believe it's been that long.
It's been a while.
Thank you, Kurt. You can stay here a little bit longer and we'll get into this trouble.
Yeah, we will.
Send it back to Conrad and Bob.
Conrad, you flew with the Blue Angels?
Yes, I did, and Kurt tried to scare me to death. That was one of the most exhilarating things I've ever done.
All right, Tennessee now. There you see as they get ready to kick off. 8 plays, 77 yards, 341, and Levine capped it with a 1-yard run. Carlos Baker is the deep man. It's a short punt, and it's going to be picked up. And not much doing after that. Maybe the 21-yard line where Baker is stopped by a host of volunteers on the special team. Gaines is there at the bottom of the stack, along with Sean Johnson. So UNLV puts it in play offensively with 6:49 remaining in the first half of play. Tennessee 28, UNLV 3. There's the confetti. It's still flying. Those are from the luxury boxes here, the sky boxes. Like one of the conventions, as some of the guys in the truck said. Here's a pass out in the flat, and it's leading Williams a little too much. Tennessee had it well covered anyway. Raymond Austin was over there. So now they look at a 2nd down and 10 situation. We'll give you some scores here in a second. Louisville 17, Kentucky 7 at the half. As we told you, Southern Miss beat Georgia 11-7. There's a happy camper. 2nd down and 10 to go now for the Rebels. Out of the shotgun. Denton looking, being pressured. Fires it out in the flat. Too much Tennessee speed. DeJohn Branch nowhere to go. Billy Ratliff actually ran him down. Billy is number 40 there. Big guy, I guess around 280 right now, Condridge, but look at the way he moves.
Tell you, that's just a well-executed screen, but there is no substitute for speed. Now, so folks, this is a big lineman running the back down.
That's back run down by 280 pounder. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. 3rd down, correction. 3rd down and 7. Denton again goes to the shotgun. Got 3 receivers out this time. 1 back in, and they send him out in the flat. Tennessee intercepts. Tyrone Hines. Tell you what, Tyrone knew all along where that one was going, and he stepped right in front of it as though it were intended for him. Take a look at Tyrone in action.
Well, this was just not a well-thrown ball. It looked like he was anticipating a curl pattern and got a streak. I mean, when you do that and you anticipate the throw, that was thrown right to Tyrone Hines.
He
made a good play.
He lost Condridge some weight this year, and he thinks he's a little bit faster. Dropped about 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. Here's Manning. Delay, not much doing this time. UNLV waiting for that. Brian Darden is the ball carrier. So Brian Darden with his first collegiate play from scrimmage, at least as a ball carrier.
Little blitz action there. When you run the draw play, and you can't really allow for the blitz, and he just came free, and that's the results. Play for minus yardage.
Darden has been slowed some by injuries to both wrists, but he is able to play tonight, and they're glad to get him in for a few plays here. Here's the handoff to him again. This time they fake a handoff to him and then throw beautifully over the middle to Joey Kent. Again, Peyton magic at its best. And a nice, I tell you, Darden did a beautiful job of carrying out the fake that time.
Sure did. Joey Kent got his bell rung there a little bit. I think he's okay, though.
There he is, and probably just had the breath knocked out of him.
Good stick move. You can see right here he gets hit and falls on that ball.
There he is, moving up the ladder. I like that gift of grab.
T.D. Woods needs to get ready to make the speech.
Peyton stands up. Timing pattern in the corner. Out of it. Andy McCullough. They got to Andy, big guy. Tried to time it over in the corner, and he couldn't quite pull it inbounds. So Tennessee now will look at a second down situation. Ball at the 6-yard line. Tennessee still looking good on the offensive line. Those guys are doing the job up there, and of course getting in some very valuable experience right here. Here's the handoff on the right side. Spinning is Brian Darden inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. There's Mercedes Hamilton, number 75, who started out at Tennessee as a defensive lineman, has been moved to the offense and has played very, very well.
You know, the more Brian Darden runs this play, if he take a look outside, he's got a touchdown there, but he's still not familiar with what the blocking schemes are yet, and he's still brand new. But once he gets more comfortable and he runs that same play, he'll break that one, because that was open outside for a touchdown.
They will show that to him many times
in
the film room, and that's how you learn, by just taking a look at those plays over and over again. Timeout has been called here with 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first half of play. The Volunteers on top 28-3. Season opener for both clubs. First time they've ever met. There's the new addition to the stadium here. It's totally enclosed now. It's a bowl, and it's the biggest in America. There's the huge press box. Got new lights on top, new speaker system on top of the press box, and the sky boxes, and the lovely Tennessee cheerleaders, and handsome in some cases. Here's Jeff Horton, who probably would like to reach for an Alka-Seltzer right about now, but his team is learning. Tennessee is the teacher right now. Here's the handoff. This time they try to slide outside with Eric Lane, number 2 fullback, behind Chester Ford in the ball game. And Lane was stopped. So Tennessee now, Condridge looks at a 4th and 1. I don't think you kick a field goal here, do you? Offside had been called against UNLV. Tough break for the Rebels right there. So the Vols got another crack at it. up 28-3 and knocking on the
neutral zone. Right, a half the distance penalty.
Along with Larry
down.
Sievers will be part of a big halftime show here. There's your pizza.
All right.
All right, it's power football time right here. Tennessee offensive line digging in. Manning spins, gives it off. They tried to jump. I don't think he got in. Brian Darden, I don't believe, made it across. They unfold him down there. There he is, number 8. And he got hit just as he made the jump. Had no chance to go over the top. Good penetration right there by Hilliard. So Tennessee now, 4th down and goal. The crowd roaring.
I would say this will be a quarterback sneak. Should be.
Let's see if they send the big quarterback. They do. Touchdown, Peyton Manning. Good call, Conrad. Well, you still got the touch.
Well, you don't put a middle linebacker and don't cover the center. I mean, if you play on either side of the center, the quarterback sneak is the best play the book could run. So it's just a given right there.
Jason Price will take the snap from Mark Ingram, and Jeff Hall will attempt to add another point to Tennessee's total, which right now is 34. 3:32 remaining in the first half of play. It's up there, and Jeff Hall on the night is perfect. 35-3, Tennessee. Ball's back home next week right here against UCLA. Then they have a week off, and then the game that everybody's been talking about. Take a look now as Peyton keeps it and goes in for the touchdown on the sneak.
Well, six-play drive, 22 yards. It took 2:18, and it was just a thing of beauty. Hitting Joey Kent across the middle was a big play, and they just executed very well.
Listen now to the head coach, Philip Fulmer, who talks about his offensive line.
Back in spring practice was a real question mark because of the lack of continuity, actually, and a lot of immaturity on some youngsters' parts because they basically didn't know how to go about their business to get better, and they learned that during spring practice. They all had great summers to their credit, and they've done very well here in the fall, and I expect to put a good group on the field and that they'll function very, very nicely.
Here's Hogue's kick. It's relatively short, taken up though, and a pretty decent return to the 25-yard line by Ware, who is a receiver. And so UNLV takes over with 3:25 remaining. Had a pretty decent drive the last time they had the football, able to kill about 6 minutes, and they'd like, I'm sure, to try to kill out the remainder of this, for them, very painful first half of play. Tennessee in some quarters favored 56 points in this ball game. That's what you call a prohibitive favorite, I do believe. And a full house backfield this time, so apparently they're going to try to keep it on the ground. Tennessee jumped, but I think they got back. Now they're going to throw it out of that formation and throw it successfully out here across the 32-yard line to Carlos Baker. Pretty good call that time, Conrad.
That's one of the few passes they've actually thrown downfield, and they're getting away from throwing in the middle. And this was a 3-step drop from the shotgun. Got a little play out down the sideline, and that was good execution on their part.
Jeff Coleman putting pressure on the passer. I'll tell you, in time, Denton, if he ever gets a surrounding cast to go with him, could be a pretty decent quarterback.
He's got some tools.
Tennessee now trying to clog up the middle, and still spinning and getting some yardage is Omar Love, who's running out of the tailback position for the first time tonight. Jeff Coleman made the stop for Tennessee. Tennessee 285 yards total, and UNLV 92 at the moment. Good effort here. 3 minutes to go in the half with the clock running. And UNLV breaks out of there quickly. They'd at least like to get in field goal range. Send the wing back in motion this time, and going to throw out there to him. Tennessee almost overran that one with their speed. Carlos Baker picks up a little yardage up to the 40, maybe the 46-yard line. Ronnie Pillow, who's in at a backer spot now, along with Jonathan Brown from defensive end, made the stop. Ronnie Pillow, once a running back, once a receiver, and now he's a linebacker. Pretty good block there. Jonathan Brown chasing it out there. Duck number 50, but number 3 is Pillow, and he's the man primarily responsible for the stop. 2:15 and the clock running in the first half of play. Tennessee on the big end of a 35-3 score. UNLV trying to get some offense going here. Again, they throw in the flat as they've done most of the night, but it comes up short of a first. Carlos Baker stumbling out of bounds before Tennessee could get there for the hit. But it does stop the clock at 2:04. UNLV out of the WAC conference, their first year in that. That's the numbers wise the biggest conference in the country. There's 16 teams in that league, divided up into 4 divisions during the season. There you see the yard marker, and you see him step out of bounds shy. So it becomes a 3rd down situation, and roughly 4 yards to go for a first down. Ball at the 48-yard line of UNLV. Changing receivers quickly, obviously bringing in a play from the bench here. Coach Horton and his staff trying to solve the Tennessee defense. Bad snap. Picked up, though, by the quarterback Denton, rolling, fighting for his life, and throws it almost intercepted by Tyrone Hines again. There he is. Tyrone almost at his 2nd interception. Jonathan Brown forced that play. Jonathan Brown is having a great first half. And so it'll be 4th down, and UNLV will have to go into punt formation. Christosic, take a look. Good athletic move that time, just to hang on to the football, pick it up, and there's Brown in his face, and there's Tyrone jumping and almost intercepting. Christosic is in punt formation, standing at about, will kick it from the 35. And Tennessee's going to get away from that football, let it go into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20, put it in play with 1:45 to go in the half. It covered 52 yards. UNLV has punted very, very well tonight. Tennessee hasn't had to punt much. The one punt that Binion had was not very impressive. They've got a freshman kicker that we may see, or they may try to hold him out this year. Leverton from the state of Texas, an All-American. A youngster who has shown great promise. 35-3 in favor of the Vols. There's Manning, who's still at the helm. How much we see of him in the second half remains to be seen. I would suspect, the way things are going, not a whole lot. Manning fires it out in the flat. It's complete to Sean Bryson. Bryson is finally out of bounds. Brett Gilbert drove him out. Sean Bryson, number 24. Picks up about 6 yards on that play. Stops the clock on the out-of-bounds play. There's Manning trying to hurry his men up. Take a look at the poised Manning. Here's Bryson. There's your nice move right there. Beautiful move. Finally driven out of bounds, but that move was good for about 4 extra yards. He otherwise would have had about 2. Here's the pass again. This time they pick up the first down. Mark Levine out of the backfield takes it and gets out of bounds just past the marker. It stops the clock, and this first down, of course, would have stopped it anyway. 1:31 to go in the first half. Gondridge has made his way down to the field to be a part of the ceremonies. He mentioned that he's going to be with Larry Sievers, and that reminds us of UCLA coming up next week. One of Larry Sievers' all-time great games was against UCLA, and in fact, it was one of the greatest ever by a receiver in Tennessee history. Here is Manning firing over the middle, complete to Joey Kent. And that combination just continues to work beautifully. Quincy Sanders made the stop that time. Tom Mattingly spotting for us tonight from Sports Information. Tom, you got your hands full in the second half. We may see a lot of guys. Here is Manning in the pocket. Beautiful touch. And still running with that football, finally out of bounds is Joey Kent to stop the clock with 1:10 to go. What a touch on that one. Kent already has got 117 yards receiving tonight. He's going to crush the records. He already has broken with his touchdown. Perfect poise right there. Perfect, picture perfect for a quarterback. You take that to the classroom and show the other guys exactly around the country how you set up and throw the football. Joey Kent, of course, with the touchdown reception tonight, became the all-time leader in that department. And he'll break more. Here's Marcus Nash down the sidelines, driving down to about the 6-yard line. Marcus Nash. 35 yards. Manning to Nash. Again, plenty of protection. There's Manning. No problem at all. Just calmly sitting in the pocket. The offensive line doing the job. The clock shows exactly 1 minute to go. Tennessee's now on the 7-yard line. First down and goal, leading 35-3. You in the second half should, if you're a Tennessee fan, be very interested in seeing a lot of the young guys in action, seeing some of the other quarterbacks. And secondary people especially. Tennessee did a great job this year in recruiting talent in that secondary. People like Goodrich and Mickey Allen, and also the Griffin youngster from Riverdale and Murfreesboro. Mickey Allen is from Brentwood Academy. Goodrich out of Illinois. Tennessee beginning to recruit that Illinois area quite well. All right, it's time to have a little refreshment right now. There's somebody behind him asking for a lot of money there. Tom, looks like he's doing quite well. All right, back to the field here. 1 minute to go. Tennessee had gotten the word from the bench as to what the play would be. Coach Cutcliffe, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, assistant head coach at the University of Tennessee. There you see the offensive line. Big Daron Robinson there has had a good fall. Looks like he's on his way to a good year at guard. Tennessee stepping up there with 7 yards to go. And another score. They fire a quick one. Incomplete. I think Tennessee wanted a flag, but Joey Kent is not going to get one. Felt like he might have been bumped before the ball got to him, but the ball got there awfully quick. So Tennessee now, that play took exactly, I'll tell you how quick it was. It took 3 seconds. 57 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Tennessee looking at a 2nd down and 7. They got 3 wide outs this time and a man in the slot. Manning rolls and throws through the hands of Marcus Nash. Marcus in that corner could not hang on. Fans a little stunned for a second, but then they look up at the scoreboard and say, hey, we were leading 35-3. Manning in this drive is 5 out of 7 for 67 yards. As you see, that's the most difficult pass for a quarterback to throw. Back across his body, moving in the opposite direction, and he had it right there. All right, Tennessee now 3rd down and 7. Trying to go through the air into the end zone. He may be checking off at the line of scrimmage here, and he's going out of the gun this time. Got a high snap, and whistles blow it dead immediately. Tennessee may have been in motion. The clock shows 50 seconds. They've run 3 plays here in a span of 10 seconds.
Down.
Shuffling in some fresh receivers. Tennessee going to be backed up because of the penalty. Motion, and most assuredly will, I would think, throw it again. 3rd down and 12. 9th play of the drive. Tennessee's killed an awful lot of time in this one. Here's Manning going back against the grain, intercepted. Oh, he will not be happy with that one. Just not quite high enough. And seldom ever will you see that mistake. Max Smith, a tackle, reached up. Here he goes to his right, then throwing back to his left, and Smith was waiting. Joey Kent made the tackle of the big tackle. Only 4 interceptions in the entire season last year for Peyton. Miami of Florida defeated Memphis today 30-7. Alabama beat Bowling Green 21-7. Not nearly as big as people had anticipated, I guess. Now with the handoff is Omar Love out of the tailback spot, and he picks up a little yardage before he is grounded by Tyrone Hines. Colorado, number 5 in the nation, beat Washington State 37-19. Kansas defeated Texas Tech 21-14 today. Michigan 20, Illinois 8. Those are all final scores. Last thing we had on Florida, they were in the second quarter leading Southwest Louisiana 28-0. About what you would expect. Auburn early in the first quarter was leading Alabama Birmingham 3-0. Juggling it and dropping it is Carlos Baker. Craig King, number 44, right there with him. And when King is in the neighborhood, you probably don't want to catch it. Well, that's the end of the first half of play here at the nation's largest football stadium, Neyland, with over 102,000 looking on. We'll get the official figures a little bit later. The university will release those. But Tennessee comfortable, 35-3. Got to play their first and second stringers in this first half. Got to look at the offensive line. They passed the test. Manning, although he had that one little mistake, of course, was near perfect and played beautifully. Joey Kent was outstanding. And let's go down to the sidelines, and Missy has the coach.
Coach, I don't see too many things that have gone wrong tonight.
No, you certainly like to score but you know, we just need to keep playing, get some young people in the ball game, and get some experience and not get anybody hurt.
Speaking of that, how's Leonard Little?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. He could obviously play a lot more, and we want him to, but there's no need in it right now.
I guess one question going in is your offensive line a little young this year, but how do you feel about them so far?
Well, they're not young. They're inexperienced. You know, they haven't played a lot, but they're juniors and seniors, except for one sophomore. So I don't know. We'll see when we watch the film how they did. I'm very critical of them usually because I coach the position, and we didn't get it in down on the goal line, you know, down there when we should have. But I'm anxious to see how they do the second half.
You've been mixing it up with your running passing game. Will we see another quarterback out here second half?
Yeah, we'll see another quarterback.
Good job. Well, score right now, 35-3, and it could be a lot higher, guys. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Missy. Well, of course, as the halftime festivities begin here, it gives us a chance to remind you that it's not all football for the youngsters who come here under scholarship to play at the University of Tennessee. There has to be work in the classroom as well. Let's take a look behind the scenes.
It's understandable that some folks might not know exactly what to call Gerald Mahan. Among his colleagues on campus, he is known as a member of the National Academy of Sciences. In his field of study, he is known as one of America's leading researchers in quantum physics. But his most important title is the one we used in his freshman physics class. Teacher. Some of the best professors in America in the classroom. The University of Tennessee.
Well, back here in Knoxville, now what's turned out to be a very nice night. Tennessee leading 35-3 over UNLV in the season opener for the Vols with high expectations. Ranked number 2 in the 2 major polls behind Nebraska, the defending national champion. But really that shouldn't come as a big surprise. Remember, Tennessee in the final poll last year finished number 2 in one, number 3 in the other, and they returned Manning and Graham and Leonard Little and Tyrone Hines and also Jason Parker and Raymond Austin and a lot of good football players. So it's a situation where Tennessee is going to have to play hard every week, though, because you can't sneak up on people in this day and time, and everybody's going to be gunning for the Vols. And they cannot afford to have a letdown, so they've got to take them one at a time. UCLA next week could present a real challenge. Of course, we all know that UCLA always has athletes. Now, they're relatively young and inexperienced, but still, they have great athletes, so it'll be a dangerous game. A lot of festivities coming up here at halftime. It's a celebration night, a 75th anniversary, and of course the expansion of the stadium. And fans have come from near and far. It's been a tough ticket. Now, why would that be, you say, with Tennessee favored by over 50 points? Well, it's the atmosphere. It's being in the stadium for this first game. Michigan State impressive today, or was Purdue unimpressive? I guess a combination. Michigan State 52-14. And North Carolina, this is a shocker because I think Clemson had been like a 2-point underdog. North Carolina, with a great offensive and defensive line, wins big. Michigan wins over Illinois 20-8. And could be another great year for the Wolverines. Look at this one. This stuns a lot of people. Southern Mississippi, they always play tough against SEC foes, and they win against Georgia. Louisville leading Kentucky 24-7. Could be a long year for Bill Curry. Now it's Florida 35-7 in the third quarter over Southwest Louisiana. Colorado expected to make a run at the national title, 37-19 over Washington State. Alabama, not that impressive, 21-7. At least the score is not impressive. We haven't seen any particulars on the game, but Auburn at halftime. Watson Brown's UAB team is fighting them. It's 9-0 Auburn at the half. Kansas State out of the Big 12, beating Texas Tech 21-14. That is a final score. Not all the teams in action today. Number 1 Nebraska not in action today, but most everybody will next week get their season underway. Of course, Penn State, Southern Cal, those teams already open with Penn State winning impressively. There's the confetti flying. It's almost like being at a big political rally here tonight. Confetti flying, and the crowd enjoying themselves at Neyland Stadium. Over 102,000. It's now the largest stadium in the country, surpassing Michigan by about 43 seats. The all-time crowd at the University of Tennessee is against, well, it will be tonight. Prior to this, it had been against Auburn. Some former Vols are now being introduced to the crowd here, and in most cases they are representing, each player who's on the field will represent 3 years of players, 3-year span. The record for Tennessee was set September the 28th, 1991 against Auburn, 97,731. So we passed that tonight.
Undefeated, untied, named the two
Let's go to the
champions.
public address system here and
later to serve
let them tell you about some of the folks who are now in the golf carts. Looks very comfortable out there on the field.
The next year, 1939, Tennessee was undefeated, untied, and unscored upon. A standout in on that team, Ed Cyphers. Because of the war, there was no team in 1943. But the next year, the Vols roared back and went to the Rose Bowl. The single-wing tailback from 1944, Buster Stevens. Great plays, make great games, and great memories.
This is Slater cutting back at the 25. He's at the 20, down to the 15, turns, will lateral the ball. The North Carolina defender goes, wait. Slater keeps it, a fake, and he will race untouched into the end zone to score for Tennessee.
Ladies and gentlemen, he made that play 50 years ago, Walter Slater. From 1948 through 50. His 76-yard run against Texas in the 1951 Cotton Bowl victory still ranks as one of college football's great plays. A member of the College Football Hall of Fame, tailback Hank Laracella. In 1951, Tennessee won the national championship, and why not? At defensive end, All-America, College Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, and so much more. Would you welcome Doug Atkins? 1956 at Georgia Tech.
There's no score. Tennessee has the ball at the Tech 46-yard line. Single wing to the right. Majors is the tailback. On the option to the right, pulls up. There's a long pass downfield. Complete. Buddy Cruz down to the Tech 9-yard line. Tennessee has it first down, goal to go.
Tennessee 6, Georgia Tech nothing. Here is Buddy Cruz. The 75th birthday continues. 1959. Defending national champion LSU comes to town. 2 balls join the late Bill Majors in an all-time defensive play.
Undefeated LSU has just scored. The Volunteers cling to a 14-13 lead, and this will be LSU going for the 2-point conversion and the win. Handoff goes. This is Billy Cannon ramming the right side. He did not make it. He did not make it.
They saw to it that he did not make it. Wayne Grubb and Charlie Severance. Now representing the 1960 through 62 team. An outstanding in from 10 Mile, Tennessee, Cotton Lipner. 1965, Memphis, Tennessee against UCLA.
The Bruins lead by a score of 34-29. The Volunteers have it 4th down at the UCLA 1-yard line. Warren is the quarterback. Keeps the ball to the left side. Pounds, grind, fight, scores. Tennessee takes the lead over UCLA.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Swamp Rat, Dewey Warren. In 1967 at Legion Field, this defensive back made 3 interceptions in 1 game as the Volunteers defeated Alabama 24-13. Here is All-America Albert Dorsey. The hard-running balls of the late 60s and early 70s would pound on the ground. And the ball who did so much of the pounding, later a pilot with the Blue Angels, the Crossville Comet, Kurt Woodson. In 1974, Clemson is close to an upset at Neyland Stadium.
The Volunteers have just scored, but Clemson still leads 28-27. Tennessee will go for the 2-point conversion. Big decision. Holloway with the football rolling to his right, giving ground, in big trouble now. Long pass deep into the end zone, complete. Larry Sievers, and the ball's pulling out 29-28.
Ladies and gentlemen, Condridge Holloway and Larry Sievers. 1975 through 77 is represented by the player who still holds the record for the longest run from scrimmage, 99 yards in a game at Florida. Welcome back, Kelsey Finch. The Garden State Bowl in 1981.
With the touchdown, Wisconsin now leads by a score of 7-3. As Haiti will be kicking off for the Badgers. End over end. This will be Willie Galt making the catch down at the 13. Starts upfield, cuts to his right. He's up to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Galt pops free. No way. Willie Galt, 15, 10, 5, Galt, 87 yards on the kickoff return, and the Volunteers lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Willie Galt. We move to 1983 at Legion Field.
Tennessee 34, Alabama 34, second down 6 at the Volunteer 33-yard line. Alabama comes with a blitz from the right side. This is the handoff to Johnny Jones, starting to his left, cuts back, big hole, cuts against the grain, down to the Alabama 45, to the 40, to the 35. Jones en route to pay dirt, 15, 10, 5, give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Here he is, Johnny Jones. 1985, again at Legion Field.
The ball struggling since the injury. Tennessee still holds a 16-14 lead, but the Crimson Tide is moving. This will be Shula back to throw. The pass deflected. Did he intercept that ball? I do not believe it. Dale Jones tips, then intercepts the ball. Unbelievable.
A man who always wears the orange with pride, Dale Jones. 1987 started at the Meadowlands.
Iowa trails 7-3, but they have the ball at the Volunteer 1-yard line. Hartley pitches back, intercepted, picked off in midair. That's Darren Miller with the football for Tennessee. Up to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. Miller from nearby Flemington, New Jersey, lumbering down the far sideline. Victor Peppers running interference for him. Miller will make it all the way. 96 yards, touchdown, Tennessee.
The man who turned the kickoff classic around, Darren Miller. 1991, South Bend. Tennessee falls far behind Notre Dame. Then
the Vols have come back, still trailing 34-28 as Andy Kelly drops back, flips a pass out into the left flat, complete. This is Aaron Hayden, 35-30, 25 blockers in front. Hayden will take it in to score as the Volunteers take the lead over the Fighting Irish.
Welcome the quarterback who made the pass, Andy Kelly. Now to represent the most recent period of great ball players and outstanding Big Orange teams, an offensive lineman from Kingston, Kevin Mays. Now, will you join once more in saluting these Tennessee legends who, along with you, the fans, have built this home of the Vols, where tonight together we celebrate the Volunteers of 75 years.
As we honor the Big Orange football legends of 75 years, the pride of the Southland Band moves to a form which marks another milestone in Tennessee football history.
It's a pretty exciting night for you. Your career is impressive. Doug Atkins, of course, was the SEC quarter-century athlete back in '76. What has tonight meant to you, Doug?
Well, it's good to see all the boys back again. Some of these people I haven't seen in a long time. It's real nice.
Tell me about being out there with Hank Laricella and the guys that had the only national championship so far.
That's true, and it's good to see 102,000 people here.
Doug Atkins, you are still a big man. You feeling good?
Feel good. Lost by 50 pounds. I feel real good.
All right. Doug lives right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We've got Hank Laricella coming up in just a little bit. Back to you guys. I was going to talk to
All right. 106,200. That's the crowd tonight, an all-time record, 106,200. And remember, it's UNLV. Still with the Alabamas and the Floridas and the UCLAs coming in here. We're going to see more and more records broken. And now a humongous fireworks display inside the stadium. And I can foresee some smoke problems to begin the second half of play. We'll be rejoining Missy a little bit later for some more interviews. But this is really, really spectacular right now as 75 years of football is being celebrated. I believe Missy is down on the field now with a very famous name in Tennessee football, Coach Bob Woodruff. Missy?
Bob Woodruff, you're still in the spirit of things after all these years, aren't you?
Oh, isn't it great? Just great.
Tell me about some of your buddies here. You guys have got a long history of Tennessee football.
Oh, my goodness. This is Murray Warman.
Murray's up from, you live in Minnesota, correct? You live up in Minnesota?
Oh, yes, the frozen north.
He played back in 32, 33, 34, does not look it. Coach Woodruff, talk about the festivities. And, I mean, you've been around Neyland Stadium. How is tonight compared to some of the great times you've had here back with playing here and also being athletic director?
Well, now, Hugh Faust, do you know Hugh?
I know Hugh.
And do you know the oldest ball that's here tonight?
I don't.
He is right here. I want you to meet him.
Okay. This is the oldest fall. I'd like to shake your hand. Congratulations for being here. Thank you so much.
Man here tonight is a volunteer. He's
volunteers. I bet, and I think the stories, you guys, are getting better and better as the years go on. But these guys had a terrific history and are all a part of Neyland Stadium. Nice to meet you. Back to you guys.
Here we go. Here we go. Can we cut to here, Miss? It's been a wonderful night seeing the great legendary names from the past and seeing them on the field. John Ward left his broadcast spot on radio and did the public address announcing there, telling the crowd about the heroics of many of these great players who have become legends in the state of Tennessee and in some cases around the world. Great to see Willie Gault again tonight. What a great rousing ovation for him and all of the other former Vols. Glad to have you with us tonight for the first game of the season. Over 106,000 in Neyland Stadium to see the Vols, who lead at halftime against UNLV 35-3. Okay, down on the field right now, the alma mater. What a sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 19,000
in here tonight for the season opener in the nation's largest football stadium, seeing one of America's outstanding teams, the Tennessee Volunteers, roll with ease in the first half. Now let's go down on the field and more guests. I think a couple of more ex-great players. Missy, it's yours.
Well, of course, everybody remembers the Swamp Rat. Dewey Warren joins me, and also Hank Laricella. First of all, Hank, I mean, everyone's talking national championship again. You're on the only national championship so far. Tell me about being here tonight and also about the Vols' hopes this year.
Well, it's wonderful being here tonight with this overflow crowd, this obviously record crowd of all times, and I'm just pleased to be here. Always good to be back in Knoxville. We have a good football team. Let's take them one at a time. We win this one tonight. We get the one next week, and we go on and on. And let's hope we'll all be back in New Orleans come New Year's for the New Year's game.
Dewey Warren, you ran pretty quick out there coming out here on quarterback. You got some legs on you.
Well, I had to. I got a little age, but got a little weight, but you know, I didn't run back then, but I thought I'd run a little bit tonight.
Talk about the offense. What do you think about Peyton and Powell?
Well, I'm kind of like what Hank says. The offense is excellent. The defense is excellent. It makes the offense better. But play one game at a time. Forget about all the hip, hoo, and the raw. You play them one at a time, and then when they're all said and done, you can win it all.
Okay, win it all. You heard it from these guys. We'll send it back upstairs on that one.
All right, thank you very much, Missy. Let's take a look at the highlights now of the first half of play. Tennessee dominated, by the way, average starting field position. UNLV the 19-yard line, Tennessee the 46. Here comes the great strike by Peyton Manning to Joey Kent, covering 63 yards. Kent wide open, and with that, Joey Kent breaks the reception record previously held by Corey Fleming. Here's Jay Graham behind good blocking. Nice hold, slides into the end zone for another Tennessee touchdown. Take a look here at the Tennessee defense in action. Denton at quarterback for UNLV. Out of the shotgun. May have been checking off at the line of scrimmage on this one. Calling a different play, but he fires and right into the hands of Tyrone Hines, Tennessee's great middle linebacker. UNLV played some defense there in the second quarter. One of their big tackles reaches up and intercepts Peyton's pass out in the flat as he was attempting to go against the motion. Once again, it's Manning back, his favorite target, Joey Kent, and the result, Kent pulls in another reception. Manning decides on the 1-yard line just to take it on in himself, and he does just that. Offensive line with a great surge that time. Tremendous surge, and got it in for the score. And Tennessee very comfortable at halftime, 35-3. Rushing yardage, Tennessee the big edge, 68-21. Passing overwhelming, 262-85. Total 330-106. First down, 17-5. Each team with a turnover in the first half, which for the first game of the year is probably not that bad. But the Vols dominating the stats and the scoreboard in the first half of play. UCLA comes in next week. Tennessee has no time really to rest because UCLA will bring in a talented football team, and Tennessee has got to wonder what kind of team it will be. Totally different coaching staff. There's Peyton Manning and Denton's comparisons, and as you see, they're very one-sided, but it will be against almost everybody that Manning is compared to this year. Although the Florida quarterback will bring in some very high credentials, of course. UT's 6 scoring drives average 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So that speaks very well for the offense when you move great chunks of yardage like that. Tim O'Reilly will be kicking off for the Rebels of Nevada, Las Vegas, and Sean Bryson will be deep to receive. Tennessee and UNLV, one more half of football in the 96 opener. Here is the kick, and it's a nice one. Bryson will gather it in inside the 5-yard line and try to run outside. Does makes a nice move there and gets across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Greg Kales, who's made a lot of tackles tonight, a linebacker for the Rebels, is in on this stop. Tennessee first down and 10 to go. Bryson, I think, will remain in. No, he's coming off the field. We'll see more of him, though, later. Manning is still in there at quarterback. Probably not fair to Manning to take him out just yet, because remember, he is in the Heisman hunt, and other quarterbacks will be playing in 3rd and 4th quarters this fall. So here is Mark Levine dancing outside, spinning, good moves, and Levine is up for a first down and more across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Quincy Sanders, one of the primary tacklers. Take a look here. Here's Levine. Couldn't find room there. Danced outside. That's a good move. Got a good block there. Another good block. There's a good spin move and still driving. Good leg strength. And Trey Teague, big number 70, was the man who threw, I think, the key block in there. Teague, the most experienced of the offensive linemen. Here's the pitch back to Levine again. And Mark Levine showing good running ability. Got a good block at the line of scrimmage and jumps down into UNLV territory before Lance Sawyers was able to bring him down. There he is at ground level. Tennessee grinding it out here. Mark Levine, number 19. Chad Clifton is in the ball game now. Robert Poole, Brent Gibson, Daron Robinson, and Trey Teague, your men up front. Once again, they fake it this time to Levine and then hit Joey Kent. And Joey's still going and still going down to the 15 and inside the 15-yard line. Gilbert from linebacker position finally trailed and made the stop.
Great execution.
That was a, let me show you that I can do that. He's checking off at the line of scrimmage right now. Peyton hands off to Levine. Levine's trying to string it out and can't quite turn the corner as James Humes, the right cornerback, would not let him turn the corner, but still good running by Levine. It's been pretty impressive, Condridge.
Yes, I tell you, it's to see the hole out there like that, it just shows that he's been around a little bit, knows the blocking scheme, following his lineman.
There's Levine, 6 rushes for 30 yards. Payton sends a man in motion. Fakes to his tailback, fires out in the flat once again, this time to Marcus Nash, and he's just shy of the 5-yard line. Webster made the stop. Well, we have a moment we want to remind you that the announcers for this game have been contracted for and approved by the University of Tennessee and Host Communications. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of this game without the written consent of the University of Tennessee and Host Communications is prohibited. All right, Tennessee with a 2-back set. Manning waves his receivers a little deeper out, which may be a fake, and it was, and drives right up the middle. Don't believe they got in. Mark Levine, it looked like he was across the goal line, and the crowd in that end zone thought he was. Mark Levine.
Just a great hole right there. That's a
Dyron Robinson is the man who made the big block.
That's a great crossblock. Just great execution there by the offensive line.
I thought he was in the end zone, didn't you?
Looked like he broke the plane.
Of course, we are not on the goal line. We're right on the 50-yard line, so it's referee has a better view, or the linesman, than we do. This time up and over goes Levine, and he is in this time. Mark Levine riding high for the touchdown. 45 yards, average starting yards for Tennessee on their touchdown drives. Their average has been 45, and that's very good for field position for them. Jason Price will hold, and Mark Ingram is the special snapper, and again it will be Jeff Hall, who's had a perfect night. Tennessee will try to make it 42 right here. Hall sets it through the uprights, and it is a 42-3 ball game in favor of the Vols. There's Jeff Hall having a perfect night. There's the nice spin by Levine in the heavy traffic and getting through. 7 plays, 72 yards, and took only 255. Levine caps it with a 1-yard run.
You watch those young players do the up and over dive. They're trying to, but they still haven't perfected it like little man Stewart did.
No, he was the best.
They're getting there. He's probably the best.
Well, let's go down to Missy, who has a very special guest. Missy?
A sport athlete here at Tennessee, a great speedster, and I think he still had his wheels tonight, Willie Gault. Willie, I tell you what, we were impressed with that run on the field.
Oh, not at all. Actually, I just retired a couple of years ago from the Raiders and work out every day. But this was such an electrifying crowd, and it brought back so many great memories here at Tennessee, and it was just a wonderful thing. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Now, you said that you wouldn't mind playing with Peyton Manning.
Well, the thing about it is that these guys are great quarterbacks. I mean, Schuler was a great quarterback, and Peyton Manning now, I mean, he has all the size, ability, the arm, and he really can throw the ball out there. But I wouldn't mind playing with a guy that's in your booth, 200 Holloway. He can throw the ball out there.
That's true.
Absolutely, that's right.
That's a good one. Nice to see you again, Willie. I'll send it back up to your buddy Conrad. Okay. Back to you guys. Thanks.
Pushed him out of bounds. I believe the kicker, Chris Hodge, is the man who did it. Almost broke it all the way. Well, Tennessee got a little lackadaisical on that one, Condridge.
That was that'll give them, the coaches, something to sit down in the film room and say, look, guys, we got to play 60 minutes. This is not a good effort. But you have to give UNLV credit. They blocked well. It's a good run. Good changing hands on the ball, keeping the ball to the outside. Good fundamentally sound run right there. I question running out of bounds with the kicker, though.
Fumble! Tennessee picks it up. I don't think he stepped out of bounds. Terry Fair, touchdown. Well, what a tough break for UNLV just when you have the biggest play of the night. 1 second later, it's all taken away from you. 55 yards. The kick return by UNLV was good for 51. Then Fair picks up the fumble and goes 55 for the touchdown. And the defense gets a score.
It's just taking advantage of an opportunity.
Number 7 leading him downfield there is Jason Parker. Jeff Hall, who's had an active night, kicks another field extra point to make it 49-3. Hall has been absolutely perfect on all of them, showing no problems at all. A little back strain early, had some pain. They went through some rehab with him. Decided not to use him on kickoff so he would never have to make a tackle. He's responded well. He's feeling great, and obviously he's kicking well. There's Terry. It's showtime.
I think Coach Fulmer can put up with that. That's not bad.
No.
But when it gets to be orchestrated, I think that's youthful excitement. That's good for the game.
He's not smiling yet, Condridge, but I think he's happy.
Well, you gotta keep that intensity up. You can't really ever. Oh, how about that?
I don't think he's talking about UNLV, Red, right there.
No, South Carolina either.
Lynn Ware and Del Bates are deep for the Rebels. Chris Hodge will kick off once again. Here he comes. Gets a lot of height on it and a lot of distance this time. A couple of yards deep in the end zone. Probably should have stayed in there. Yeah. Hello. That was made by the team. That tackle. Tim Sewell was the first man down. Sewell out of Columbia, Tennessee, who was a walk-on at one time, now is on scholarship. Earned it the hard way. Good hard play on the practice field.
Yes.
There you see the average starting position. Tennessee 44, UNLV their own 22. And they're even deeper. That's down right now on the inside the 10. Williams intended. Mickey Allen is in there at cornerback, and so there's one of the freshmen that we've been talking about. Mickey Allen is out of Brentwood Academy. Played for the championship team there last year. Coach Carlton Flatt had called him one of the best, if not the best, defensive back he'd ever had. Johnson is in, Corey Gaines is in, Dwayne Goodrich is in now, another freshman. They got also Fred White in at safety. So they got 2 true freshmen in the secondary right now. And Denton is going to try to throw at those guys. Tennessee with a big rush, though, and he got it off. Nice play. Lee Ware. Good play by Denton, good play by Ware. First down and 10. UNLV trying to make a little noise.
This was a good offensive catch because that ball was just thrown away to keep from getting a safety. It was a good play.
Real nice catch. Here's a quick handoff. Tennessee waiting for it. To John Branch carrying the football for UNLV out of tailback. Bill Duff and Ron Green defensively. There's Duff, number 50. We showed you earlier that great stop he had of Eddie George in the Citrus Bowl. Duff is one tough cookie. Kind of a throwback to the 50s. Condridge still wears sideburns.
Oh, yeah, he's got
a bit of an Elvis look.
The Elvis chops going. And are they still throwing the confetti from up top there?
I don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, it's about to cover the field down there.
He keeps it this time. Denton pulled it down and ran with it. Jeff Coleman ran him out of bounds from defensive end. There he is. In time, this big youngster, I think, will be a good quarterback. He's a red shirt freshman. He's from Las Vegas. He was in a battle with Cook Kevin Cook for the starting job, and he won it out on the practice field. Denton goes under center this time. Tennessee fakes a blitz. Let's see if they count. And now everybody jumps. Question is, did UNLV pull them off, or did Tennessee just get a little too antsy and anxious there? And the official will tell us which side is guilty. Clock shows 9:47 in the third quarter of play.
That's the old play that.
Sides, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
See, the center has the option. Anytime somebody crosses that neutral line, they just snap the ball. And they'll go ahead and snap it even and go down on one knee. That's the only part of that play I don't agree with. If you're going to snap it and you got a free play, go ahead and run a play. Block everybody and throw it deep.
Yeah, what do you got to lose?
You got nothing to lose. You're going to get 5 yards anyway.
All right, Denton will go back into the shotgun. Got 3 receivers out this time. Puts a man in motion, keeps one in the block. And nobody blocked that guy. Here's Denton running for his life, and passes broken off. Tennessee may be guilty of interference. Tony Burton was the receiver intended. Steve Johnson broke on the ball and may have got a piece of him. There's number 34, Johnson. You take a look, Condridge, and be the judge.
Got to make that play. That's a good scramble job by Denton. Good throw. I'd say that's pass interference.
It's a spot now. Automatic first down.
So it's a first down for the Rebels. First down and 10 to go for UNLV, with the ball resting on the Rebel 48-yard line. Tennessee trying to dig in defensively and stop this. They would like to keep UNLV from crossing the goal line tonight. Of course, they've given up a field goal. Good running. He just keeps stringing it out. He's going nowhere. All of that running, he picked up only a yard, but I thought at one point he was going to lose 3 or 4. DeJohn Branch, and finally Dwayne Goodrich, one of those true freshmen, considered by some of the recruiting experts last year as the #1 cornerback coming out of high school. They stay right with him. 1, 2, keep bumping him, and 3, 4. Finally,
you can hear it
out
already.
of bounds.
Wrap him up. That'll be the tone.
Yeah. Grand pickup of a yard, second down and about 8. Here's a pass in the flat, complete. And DeJohn Branch, coming out of the backfield, takes it into Tennessee territory for, I believe, another first down. Steve Johnson made the stop. Tennessee taking a look now at some young secondary people. A couple of true freshmen out there.
It's just another pick play. Little flat, and if you watch the tight end there, just running a little interference, and it's a legal pick play if you don't call it. So that's what that was.
Nothing in the middle. John Branch carrying. Craig King making the stop. Oh, Macarena. I thought we might see the whole crowd involved in this before the Knights. Macarena. Condridge, are you into that dance yet?
Well, I like watching it. I'll let them, they can have that one.
You and Seaver's got a great hand out there. Brought back some wonderful memories to a lot of people.
It's good to see all those guys.
You saw the stat on rushing, and here is quarterback Denton throwing, and the receiver is tripped up, but he fell forward. Carlos Baker for a little gain. 7:47 remaining in the third quarter. Tennessee on top 49-3. Getting a look at some young football players right now, mixed in with some veterans. And that's probably the way they're going to go from here on out. You probably are not going to put an entire green team out on the field, but mixed in, they got some young secondary people, and they've played some relatively inexperienced linebackers tonight, like Westmoreland and Pillow. Deep in the shotgun is Denton, and he fires out of there. And Tennessee does wrap up this time. Carlos Baker. is the receiver. Craig King made the stop. Corey Terry was there also. Antron Peoples was in on that one too.
Just a little flat pattern. UNLV is really trying to exploit the flat area, but when you're this far behind, you've got to throw the ball downfield, and they just don't seem to want to do that. I don't know if it's protecting their quarterback or what, but they're just not getting the ball down the field to have an opportunity to score.
Well, they're looking at a 4th down and 5. Ball at the 36-yard line of Tennessee. Denton trying to pick up his first down.
That's not going to get it.
No. Antron Peoples made the stop of Carlos Baker and the big youngster from Murfreesboro in his second year at Tennessee.
You can't throw a 3-yard pass when it's 4th and 5. That doesn't calculate right.
Not when a man who's 255 can move fast and be right on top of you.
That's right. Copeland.
Jermaine Copeland has relieved Peyton Manning, so Manning's work for the night is all over. Jermaine Copeland, he's going to see a little action at quarterback, but his career is going to be at receiver for Tennessee. Right now he's played some there before, so they've got him in there. Brian Darden, the ball carrier. First-year man from Mississippi. There's Copeland. That's from last year. 5 out of 7, 49 yards. Tell you what, Peyton has wrapped up a very impressive night. 18 of 24, 296 yards, a touchdown, and had the 1 interception. All right, Copeland has 2 wideouts here at the bottom of the screen. Now puts Schuler in motion, and a little stutter step in the middle by Darden. Nowhere to go. Tim Black made the stop of Brian Darden. We'll try to check some other scores. Auburn now leading UAB 12-0 in the 3rd quarter of play. Missouri trailing Texas 7-3 at the end of 1. All right, Copeland has 3 wideouts this time. Only Darden behind him in the backfield. He wants to put the ball in the air. And incomplete. Andy McCullough was the intended receiver. The crowd wanted a flag, and they got a flag. Jermaine Webster and Dan Stewart defensively. A little too much defense. Maybe. We'll wait for the official ruling.
Interference. Jermaine Copeland would have probably wanted to put a little more air on that ball. He had a good chance of completing that one, even though he got the interference call, but he threw that one a little short. Just a little bit short. Almost makes a great catch coming back, though. Is that Andy McCullough? Yes.
Tell you what, the defender had no choice that time. You see the penalties in this UNLV and Tennessee. Both penalized a little bit more than they would like on both sides. Copeland keeps it. That's a dimension he brings to the Tennessee offense right here. Dan Stewart made the stop, but Copeland can do that.
And we almost saw a touchdown because he was getting ready to pitch that ball to his trailing back. And he does a good job. He challenges the defensive end. He pushes, turns upfield. If he gets to pitch it right now, that's a touchdown. But he made a good, smart decision, kept on to the ball. And you line up and play another down.
Guy number 48 in there is Jeremy Fitzgerald. So we're seeing a lot of.
We're going into the double numbers now, the dual numbers.
Tennessee dressed over 100 tonight, right, Condren?
They had a lot.
Here's Copeland standing in the pocket. Now comes out of it, runs it down, and he's going to run. And again, showing the good athletic ability. To Lance Sawyer and Scott Patton defending for UNLV. There's Copeland, who had a chance to play some major college basketball. There's Phillip. Still, I thought I saw a little bit of a smile there. Just a tiny bit. It's close enough for a measurement. Phillip knows next week will be a lot different, though. A lot better football team coming in
A lot
here.
better football team next week.
It is enough for the first. Southern Chains go down the field, and so does Tennessee. With 4 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. The ball sitting in a 49-3 lead, and looking at some fresh faces out there. We'll try to keep up with as many as we possibly can, but they're coming in right and left. They've used several true freshmen already tonight. They probably will wind up playing about 8 this year. Here's Copeland the defense that time to Lance Sawyer, anticipating that one all the way. So Tennessee will be looking now at a second down situation. And I lost about 5 on that one, maybe 6. Second down, close to 16 to go.
That was just a good defensive play by just cutting off the pulling guards and not allowing them to block the backside pressure, and it caught up with Jermaine Copeland.
Here's a handoff. Nice bit of running there. That's Derek Edmonds, another true freshman. Derek Edmonds came to Tennessee as a defensive back. They said, we got a lot of defensive backs. We need some more runners. They moved him over there, and right away he caught their attention in practice.
Well, I tell you what he just did right here. If you'll take a look at this cut right here, that looks a little bit like Charlie Garner. That's not very many people can make that cut. That's a sharp cut. That's a good play by a young kid.
Derek Edmonds is from Florida. Tennessee strictly in a running situation, and Copeland tucks it and gets the first down.
Quarterback Copeland keeps first and 10, Tennessee at the 10.
UNLV has lost 10 in a row on the road to outside conference competitors. Going to be 11 after tonight. Condridge, I don't think the tie-breaking rule is going to be a factor here tonight.
I don't think we'll see that tonight. That's
9th play in this drive. And timeout is going to be called by Copeland and the Tennessee Vols. Do you like the new rule? Condridge says yes, but right now we're going down to Missy.
Johnny Jones with me. Johnny's funny. He's down here watching the game, and you didn't even know you were still number 2 on the rushing list.
No, it's had so many good backs come through since I've been here. Just been unreal, really.
Talk about when you were here, though. I mean, the margin of a year is how you do against Alabama. You guys did pretty good when you were playing. Tell them about your role in beating Alabama.
Well, you know, just enjoyed it. Out of 4 years out here, we've beaten 3 out of 4. Okay, so I really enjoyed that.
What do you think about the backs? I mean, they've been mixing it up. Some of the play with Jay Graham and other guys playing. What do you think about it?
Well, the backs been running real well tonight. They look so good. I just unreal to see it. I just been glad to come back tonight and just watch it.
Well, talk about mixing it up with different backs. With Edmonds out there doing well, is that good for a running back to get a little rest? Because Jay Graham, of course, everybody's talking about him, but I guess it's important to get your rest too.
Yeah, it is. You know, that's when you really are injured secure, when you're tired and get out there and half running. Well, you're not half running, run all you got, but just tired. So when you have someone coming back in for you, it's a whole lot.
All right, so nice to see Johnny Jones lives down in Memphis, Tennessee, his hometown. Back to you guys.
Doug Matthews, you know very well, Condridge.
Yes.
A friend of ours, coached here at Tennessee, thought that Jones was one of the most pleasurable men to coach that he'd ever been around.
He's a super guy.
Tennessee.
Little option, the short side of the field, touchdown.
Oh, yes. Jermaine Copeland. Tennessee fans still cheering, still in here. Nobody has left the stadium. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the third quarter.
It's just a little option play to the short side of the field. Perfectly executed. You get out there and you've got 2-on-1. You either pitch it, make the defender take you. Jermaine Copeland kept the ball, walked in the end zone.
Copeland is going to be a great receiver, but right now he could start for half the teams in the Southeastern Conference.
He's got some ability. I tell you, he can make you do a lot of things on defense. You got to be very prepared when he comes in the ball game because he's going to move around in the pocket, run the option, and he can throw the football also.
5 rushes for Copeland in that drive, a total of 28 yards. And Jeff Hall's night continues, 56-3.
Little option, right down there, fake the pitch. Touchdown, Tennessee.
9 plays, 65 yards, time 4:19. Copeland caps it with a 9-yard run. Coach Fulmer is very, very pleased, like all Tennessee folks, with the new addition here in the big stadium.
I think it does underscore the importance of Tennessee football in the lives of Tennesseans. Certainly it's always been important. Adding 10,000 seats gives us a chance to entertain more of the people that follow Tennessee football so closely, and I think it makes a statement that we're very much the front porch of the university, that people connect with the University of Tennessee a lot of times through the athletics program.
All right, here's the kick taken by Del Bates. Straight up the middle and straight down at the 20-yard line. Solid, solid hit by Sean Johnson, number 35. Defensive secondary man, 18 yards on the return. Still in the third quarter, minute 59 to go. John Denton remains in at quarterback for UNLV. 56-3. And Tennessee was favored by 53. Denton standing up in the shotgun. Confetti is still coming from the sky boxes.
They did a good job with this confetti. It's all over. That's been going constantly the whole game.
Carlos Baker picks up a little yardage. Ronnie Pillow made the stop. Let's go down to Missy.
Well, guys, I'm with Pat Summit, Coach Pat Summit. And you said, Pat, you guys have had a great day. UNLV had a date, actually.
Well, we did. We got to tailgate. First time I've convinced him we need to do that since we married. So a lot of fun to be among all the Orange and all the Tennessee fans, and obviously the addition to the stadium is just fabulous.
Well, you've always been a football fan.
No, I love it. I mean, I love Big Orange football, and certainly this year I think probably the enthusiasm that's out there and just the electricity is greater than it's ever been. So I'm a part of it.
Well, electricity has been big after you won that national title, too.
Well, obviously something's going on here.
I think there's an interception.
The true freshman. A flag is down way back where he intercepted. Okay, Dwayne Goodrich, the true freshman, intercepted. There he is, number 23, but the flag was dropped back about Condridge where he intercepted the ball. We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
They call the clip. This ball was overthrown quite a bit.
Whoa. He gets hit by Billy Ratliff.
This ball's overthrown, and if you can see right here, he called the clip, which I have to question that one. That was not a clip.
Accidental trip is what that was.
I think he got his head in front.
But it's brought back, but it will be Tennessee's football. With a minute 1 remaining in the third quarter of play, and the Vols riding a 56-3 lead. We saw the true freshman, the much talked about Goodrich. Notre Dame wanted him badly.
Yes.
They thought they had him
Did
right
you see,
to the end.
Did you see Jermaine Copeland coming onto the field this time? Peyton Manning and him were having a little conversation. You'd think after the days Peyton's had, he'd be sitting over there with the water. He's still coaching. That's what type of guy he is. He's into it 100%, and he'll help out anytime he can.
Pass complete to Benji Schuler, but he fell down catching the football. There he is, Benji, number 81. Tennessee has never lost a football game in August. But this is only the third one they've played.
I was going to ask, that was my next question. Haven't played very many in August either.
So,
I tell you, Bobby Campbell's going to have a job getting that confetti off that field.
Here's Copeland going out in the flat again to Benji Schuler. Same play, opposite side of the field. And not much there. Scott Patton smelled it out and made the stop. Don't think we'll get another playoff before the end of the quarter. Clock is ticking down. 5-4. And that'll be the end of the third quarter of play. Here in Knoxville, 106,200 plus. A little beach volleyball there, huh? It's a happening here tonight. As I said, nobody leaving, very few anyway. They may start a little bit later. While we have a moment here, let's listen to these words from the University of Tennessee.
Juvenile violence touches everyone in our community. As a student at the University of Tennessee, I'm learning new ways to help young people handle conflict. I take these lessons to our city's schools. The students I work with are making a difference in their own classrooms, playgrounds, and neighborhoods. I'm proud of UT's partnership with our school system and the many ways the University of Tennessee bridges the gap between the classroom and the community.
All right, Coach Fulmer and his team ready now for one more quarter of football. And UNLV will not see a crowd like this again this year. But probably no one else will either. 56-3, Tennessee on top, unless of course they come here to Neyland. No telling what the Florida and Alabama crowds will be like.
Oh, yeah. If the ticket situation is any indication.
Here's a pass out to Mark Levine. Not really either man's fault. It kind of was turned Mark the wrong way, and he couldn't make the catch. So Larry Binion will come in. There you see it. Oops.
That's a tweener. That's all the way. That ball should have been caught. That's you've got to make that catch.
All right, let's see if Larry can get off a good kick. He's had a pretty good fall practice, and it's pretty decent. Coming up for the fair catch and making it is Carlos Baker. Well, it covered only 31 yards. That's not good enough.
I tell you what,
a couple of kicks, I think, Condred's 36 and 31.
Yeah. Our cheerleaders are going to have Popeye arms after this one. They've been doing push-ups for every touchdown.
All right, UNLV now looking at the scoreboard. 14 minutes and 48 seconds to try to make a little noise against some Tennessee second and third line players out there right now. But youngsters that will be first line players before too long. They've used, I guess, at least 9 or 10 offensive linemen tonight, maybe that many defensive linemen. They've used probably 10 secondary guys at least. And there will be more. Billy Ratliff has been pretty impressive tonight, Condridge, big number 40. They thought about playing him at defensive end. He can play that, but he's moved inside playing tackle.
Right.
And he gives them another fine tackle in there to go with Duff and Green and Barron. Tennessee deeper in tackles than they have been in modern times.
When you get that deep, you can always play fresh, and that's a plus for any football team.
All right, Denton remains at quarterback. He's got 3 wide outs, and he's looking for one of them, and he finds it. Carlos Baker, who made a nice catch. Pass was a little bit high. He pulled it down in front of Sean Johnson. Baker's not a bad receiver. Pretty good one.
It's just a drop back and throwing a little bit deeper down the field, but they're still staying to the outside. They're not working the middle of the field. But that's by choice, probably by design with their game plan.
Denton this time with a quick handoff. Tennessee ready for that one. To John Branch carrying the ball. And Buck Buxton, a junior college transfer. There's another guy inside, Condridge, that's supposed to add to Tennessee's depth this year. He and Corey Terry Tennessee, they're in a position now where they don't sign junior college players unless they know they can help immediately.
That's right. That's correct. And that's the only justification you can have for signing a junior college player is that he has an impact right away, because other than that, you've got to work with your systems the guys you've already signed with your freshmen and sophomores.
Going down the sidelines this time, got a man open, but he's out of bounds. Darren Williams out of bounds when he made the catch. And so it becomes just another incomplete pass. Second down and 10.
Well, John Denton will learn from that. That's a quarterback mistake all the way, because when you throw the ball to the right as a right-handed quarterback, it's going to drift out of bounds. So you have to make sure it's inside the numbers, and it'll naturally drift to the sideline. You can't throw it to the sideline. So he'll learn from that.
All right, here he is once again in the flat, and it's Carlos Baker, incomplete. Mickey Allen, a true freshman in the secondary, made the stop, or made the play defensively. 13:27 remaining in the contest. Over 106,000 have watched it tonight. Then 18 of 33 for 116 yards. Couple of interceptions. Not a bad night for the redshirt freshman.
Especially considering how many times he's picked himself up off the ground.
I'll tell you what, you're right, Condrich. He's been pounded unmercifully even after he is thrown. And this time he fires long and way out of bounds. In fact, over the head of the cheerleaders. Lynn Ware was in the general neighborhood, but nobody could have caught that. So UNLV will be forced to go into punt formation. Kristasic will be back to punt. I believe Terry Fair is still in there. Yes, he is. To receive. Again, a nice kick. Fair gets away from it. And,
almost did a 9-iron shot
it
there.
Did. Came dangerously close. 52 yards. UNLV has had a terrific night punting the football. They must be up close to 49 or 50 on an average. One man who's responsible for Tennessee's high ranking is the strength coach, and I believe Missy is with him right now. Missy?
Stuckey sticks it to him every day. I've heard a lot of the guys talk about you getting them out there in the weight room. A lot of them were here all summer, talk about their preseason conditioning.
Well, you're always concerned going into the first ball game whether you're in the type of condition that you need to be in, and it appears that we came out real well. I'm real pleased with them right now. 95%
of them, I heard, stayed around this summer to lift and work out.
Yeah, they did a real fine job. That's a voluntary situation, and they just about all stayed here and have really done well.
Including Peyton. Thanks so much for coming over, and they all look good. Good job so far. John Stuckey even has a sand pit. I think they call it Stuckey's sand pit behind the workout area. They're even running in sand every day. They're prepared. Back to you guys.
All right, the new quarterback, T. Martin, his first collegiate pass was for a first down, and it went to Graf Corby.
Came out firing. How about that for somebody that's a freshman coming in?
From Mobile.
Hey, they're crying in their beer down in Alabama about that one, I tell you. They thought they had him.
Brian Darden unable to get outside on that particular run. Nothing happening there, so it'll still be 10 yards. Second down and 10 to go for a first. T. Martin, they think a lot of him. Coach Fulmer thinks he's a great prospect. So does David Cutcliffe, the quarterback coach. Recruited, of course, heavily by a lot of people. Came down to Auburn and Tennessee, and he made the decision on Knoxville. And wearing the orange. There he is, big, strong youngster. Weighs about 212. Back in the pocket, comes out of there. Here he is running, sticks that head down, runs like a fullback. Dan Stewart made the stop. No sliding that time, Condrich.
Well, he's a big man, and I would suggest, though, making that slide.
The voice of experience.
You last a lot longer that way.
By quarters, you can see it. Tennessee 21 in the first, 14 in the second, then 21 more in the third, and nothing yet in the fourth for the Vols, but they've still got 11 minutes to do it. And here's T. Martin rolling, keeping.
What a block.
And picking up good yardage. Greg Gales made the stop. Well, you're seeing the future.
That was a well-executed play also, but I think when T. Martin sees this on the film, when he gets out to the end there, if he pitches this ball, it's a touchdown. Because everybody else has reacted to him.
Yeah, the trailer was
wide open. But like that's a young rookie mistake, honest. At least he did 100% full speed.
They've got a little bit different package for T when he comes in. Get him used to the offense, and there you saw a mistake, an exchange between the center and the quarterback, and fortunately Martin fell on the ball and recovered. But these are a lot of guys out there right now who in many cases have not worked together before, because you got a combination of some number 2 and number 3. There's Randy Sanders, who coaches the running backs here, played quarterback himself, of course. Does a great job recruiting.
They're coming. It's a man coverage. Pitch it.
Dan Stewart made the stop of T. Martin. T unable to turn the corner that time. Again, the pitch man looked to be open. I guess, Condridge, there's a fear if you're a freshman and 100,000 people that you're going to toss it awry and make a mistake that would be glaring.
Well, UNLV is doing what the Tennessee defense did to their young quarterback. They're seeing that T. Martin is a young guy, and they came up and that was an all-out blitz like this past play. And they're going to try to give him some different looks and see if he can react to it. You notice they didn't dare do that the other 2 quarters. Or Manning would have checked off and it would have been touchdown Joey Kent.
Here's T handing off, taking a handoff, gets away from that tackle, gets away from another, still fighting, and almost completed it to Brian Darden. In fact, there's a flag down, so it may be pass interference against UNLV. There's some great athletic moves there. Look at
he's still
sideline. Yeah. Manning still giving instructions over there.
Pass interference, defense. Penalty's 15 yards, automatic first down.
15 and a first. Look at this. That's strength.
A big guy with some quickness. You can tell he wanted this one caught too.
Wrapped him up just before the ball got there. So it's pass interference against the Rebels. They call the football team just the Rebels, the basketball team the running Rebels. And Tarkanian had some running rebels when he was there. In fact, Tarkanian was a running rebel.
So to speak.
Whistle blows it dead. Brian Darden, the ball carrier, but probably motioned by Tennessee. We'll wait and see here. Movement along the line, you would suspect. There's Smokey, the human Smokey. All right, T. Martin brings his ball club up. He's looking now at a first down after the interference. Then they had a busted play and a 5-yard penalty, so it's 1st and 15, or was, and still is about that. Brian Darden unable to shake free. Darden has great potential, Condridge, but he hasn't. He's been running like a freshman.
Yes, yeah, well, exactly, and he's got to understand that at this level, it's north and south, east and west is out. You can't do that. Everybody in this league can run, and at this level, so you have to go north and south and get up the field, make that initial cut, and then use your quickness.
They give him about a yard on that one. It's 2nd down and 14. Here's T back, wrapped up, unable to get his pass off. Scott Patton made the stop of T. Martin. Tennessee has one other quarterback who could see action tonight. That's Sean Snyder. And I would suspect he will get in some playing time. He was given a scholarship to start fall practice along with Sewell. And it's good to see schools like Tennessee reward guys who walk on and then practice hard and show some ability to be rewarded with that scholarship. Tennessee calls a timeout with the situation third and about 16 now with 7:52 remaining in the contest. There's Coach Fulmer still coaching. You got to, even though it's a blowout, Condred, you got to keep teaching, haven't you?
You always have to do that, and you can never just assume that a game is over and not keep your mind into the game.
Well, Southern Mississippi has done it again. In recent years, they've beaten Auburn, they've beaten Alabama, they've beaten Mississippi State and Ole Miss. And tonight they welcomed Jim Donnan to the Southeastern Conference. Louisville beating Phil Curry.
Coach Ronnie Cooper, Huntsville 180. He's done a good job up there for them.
I understand he's recruited pretty well. Did last year. Got some very talented guys to come and join that program. Hey, Condridge, we haven't commented on this, and we have a chance to do it right here. There's Purdue losing big to Michigan State, 52-14. Could be a good year for them. This one stuns me. I thought this would be like a field goal difference. North Carolina 45-0 over Tommy West and the Clemson Tigers. We'll talk about the Tennessee Pants here in a moment. Here is T. Martin going to be nailed behind the line of scrimmage. UNLV just brought everybody that time, and a lot of young offensive linemen in there. Tennessee is not wearing the stripe on the side of the pants for the first time in I don't know how long, Condridge.
As long as I can remember. I know that well, last year, yeah, since last year. But the thing is, they've worn this pant with the road uniform.
Road uniform, yeah, not at home.
At home, they've always worn the stripes.
But they voted, I guess at least the seniors did, to wear this uniform.
That probably gave a few people some headaches out at Sportsville. Have to get those other pants ready.
All right, here is Carlos Baker being drilled out of bounds. Tennessee forced into punting that time, and that's a pretty decent punt, 44 yards. The return was 8. Nick Jester was the man who made the stop there. He is number 45. Nick is a senior on this team and a very valuable man. Plays on the specialty teams and also does a good job in backing up at linebacker. Let's go down to Missy. I believe it's with the coach's daughter.
That's exactly right, Courtney Fulmer, and your dad's put you to work.
Yeah.
You've been doing this a couple years.
Yeah, I did it at the beginning of last year and at the very end. So,
how is it being down here?
It's great.
Now tell me, how do you think the head coach is doing so far this season?
Great.
Thanks a lot. I better let you concentrate on your job. Courtney Fulmer, good athlete yourself too. Back to you guys.
Okay, you saw the incomplete pass there intended for Len Ware. So it becomes a 2nd and 10 situation for the Rebels. Denton is still in there at quarterback, and probably that's a good idea because he's in a learning situation right now at UNLV, so just give him all the reps you can.
Weather the storm. You don't want to ever get used to that, but I mean, it's something you got to go through, and he's getting a good experience right now.
Here's a handoff on the right side, and that's Footman, Darren Footman, carrying the ball for a few yards before he is hit by Buxton. Buck Buxton made the stop.
That's a football name for you.
There's Ian Martin in the game now, too, out of Winchester, Tennessee. Yeah, Buck Buxton sounds like a defensive lineman, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Well, they've given UCLA a lot to look at here tonight. Out of the shotgun, Denton fires out of the flat. Hello.
Touchdown.
All the way down the sidelines and in. He got by the pylon and scored. Touchdown, Tennessee. Here comes the celebration. Eric Westmoreland, a true freshman. brings the fireworks out in big time. Take a look at that on the replay.
Watch this hit. Ouch. That is a big one.
Where was the train? Westmoreland.
Is that Mickey Allen?
I believe.
Mickey Allen made that hit. That's
another true freshman. Allen made the hit out of Brentwood Academy. Westmoreland, who is a Tennessee youngster also. The ball bouncing around. It's blocked, goes out of bounds.
High snap.
And the score remains 62-3. Snap was, I don't know if we had a different snapper in that time or not.
It was a very high snap.
Not like Ingram to make a mistake. There it is, 62-3. Well, we have seen the future in many different positions tonight, especially in the secondary.
That's right.
Westmoreland is now a linebacker. Whether he remains there or not remains to be seen, but they put him there a couple of weeks ago.
High snap, couldn't get it down in time, and resulted in a block.
Let's take a look and watch the hit here. We got two freshmen involved in this play.
Well, this is just a misread by the quarterback because
there he is.
You don't want to throw a flat pattern when you've got the defense outside of you.
Listen to Mickey Allen's hit. That's a Brentwood Academy youngster. Really sticking it to the receiver, and the result, a fumble, and another freshman picks it up and scores. The deep men now are Len Ware and Dell Bates, and Tennessee is set to kick off again. Coming down to kick off once again will be, well, this is going to be a new man, Robert Loudermilk, who's also out of the Middle Tennessee area. He attended Brentwood High School, not Brentwood Academy, but Brentwood High. Loudermilk gets it high, bounces down inside the 10, where Len Ware picks it up. And Len Ware is picked up and dropped at the 15-yard line. Last time Tennessee was over 60 points was the 65 against Vandy in '94 in Nashville. All right, Missy, I think, has made her way into the cheering section down there. Missy?
I think I've found the tiredest bunch of people in the stadium so far, the cheerleaders. Have you all figured out how many push-ups you've done so far tonight? Anybody good?
300.
Over 300?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, how are those biceps? All right, okay. You want to do more? Drop and give me 7. Ready, go.
Y'all ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
All right. How about one arm push-ups for anybody? Yeah, another 62. And you ladies back there, you should have shown these guys up. Anyway, back to you guys. I'll do a one-arm one next time. I'll take my jacket off. Back.
All right. Smokey, here's a guy in excellent physical shape right there. He's had an active night, too. Tennessee with a comfortable, I think we could say, lead of 62-3. 6 minutes remaining, and looking at a lot of young football players, and they must surely like Condridge what they have seen with the youth tonight.
They have to like it because they've gotten a chance to put them in a game situation early in the year. You love that when you get your first game and at least go 3 deep and play these people, so you've got them on film. You've got something that you can coach them with. You don't have to look at practice film. You want to see how people are going to react on a game day, and this is a great situation for the Tennessee football team.
You have to admire the UNLV coaches. They're still trying to coach, too.
They're still coaching. They're still hanging in there and doing the best they can with a bad situation.
Trying to teach in the final seconds of this ball game. And here's a handoff to Omar Love, right up the middle. Some more scores. Again, Georgia loses to Southern Miss 11-7. 6 minutes remaining now. Louisville has scored again. It's 31-14 over Kentucky with a little under 7 minutes to go in that one. Ole Miss in the fourth quarter leading Idaho State 28-7. Miami beat Memphis 30-7 today. Alabama 21-7 over Bowling Green. Colorado, number 5 in the nation in the preseason AP poll as well as the CNN coaches poll. 37-19 over Washington State. Florida is final now. Florida 55 and Southwest Louisiana 21. Injury here, and this is to Shane Begnaud, who's a senior at Tennessee. It's played off and on through his career. He's a safety, and hopefully it's not a serious injury. Second quarter of play, BYU 7, Arkansas State nothing. Condred seems to be an ankle or knee, but he's going off with some help. There's another big game today in the Big Ten. Michigan 20, Illinois 8. There's that Louisville score. I tell you, the fans will be howling in Lexington tonight. Oh, I thought Memphis might make that a little more interesting today. Colorado, probably the only team with a shot at Nebraska in that Big 12. There's Colorado State, impressive. Alabama favored by a huge margin, won by 14. All right. UNLV still trying to play some offense here. Still trying to, not going to do it there. Omar Love just collared down by 3 or 4, led by Dwayne Goodrich. Take a look at the youngsters here, Condridge, as they're just all over him.
They're all over. That's a host of volunteers. Brent Beavers, that's a newcomer.
UNLV rushing for 37 yards. Yeah, we're searching through the files here for some of these players now. There's a long, deep try to Lynn Ware. Pretty good effort by both the quarterback and the receiver, but just a shade too long. I would think on the plane ride back to Vegas, Denton would probably try to catch a little shut-eye.
Oh, yeah,
he's a beat-up man, but he's still hanging in there.
He's hanging in there, but he'll be in the ice tub, I guarantee you that.
Kostasic is back to punt once again. And it's Jermaine Copeland in receiving position. And again, it's a good punt. Copeland's going to take it, get by the first man, and get a little bit of yardage back there. So Copeland has played some receiver, some quarterback, and now it's done a little punt returning, showing his versatility. 41-yard punt.
Contributed in all 3 factors.
Tennessee 62-3 with 4:23 remaining, and the fans are sticking around, a lot of them, just simply to see some of the young guys that they heard about during the recruiting season. Sean Snyder becomes the 4th quarterback of the night for Tennessee.
Some of them are saying, but I think some of them heard it was last call at the Copper Cellar. They kind of walking out of here and getting ready to get away from the traffic.
Here is Derek Edmonds running out of the backfield and picking up a little yardage before he is knocked down by Roderick Jones from linebacker. There's Sean Snyder, 6'3", 205, right here out of Knoxville. Put on scholarship as they started practice this fall, and a guy who really works hard. Got some ability too.
He's got a nice touch on the ball. I've watched him throw quite a bit.
Playing for the school that he loves. Hands off to his tailback, Edmonds. Edmonds slices for a couple more yards before the Rebels knock him down. Nose guard Tim Black at the bottom of the stack. 62-3. I don't think you could call running this up at all, Condridge.
No, not the way it's happened. They've stayed within their offense. They didn't just bomb away. They've been very, very controlled as far as running their offensive sets and doing their plays, and they just stayed basic. And I mean, when you stay basic, you gotta. And you score. You can't fault them for that.
Well, Snyder fumbled, same as T. Martin did. Young quarterbacks in, not used to the exchange with the center. They're still boogieing in Neyland Stadium tonight.
You can't catch me. I run a 4.6 40.
It's football time in Tennessee.
You can't catch me. Thought that
Lynn Ware will be back. And Binion will be punting. Pretty nice one. They call for a fair catch this time and take it at about the 27-yard line. At that point, the Rebels put it in play with a couple of minutes remaining. There's a flag down up around the 46 or 7-yard line.
Yeah, it's about bedtime.
Yeah. All right. Okay, a lot of young fans here.
Holding.
They had a good time.
Big bedtime. I ran into Darren Miller down there, Bob. And
I saw Darren a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's got a group watching the game at the playing field. I guess that's one of his places of business. And I told him I'd say hello. We got quite a few watching the pay-per-view. I know there's a group down in Huntsville at the Huntsville Hilton at the Madison Square Mall that are watching this game very intently. There's a lot of Tennessee fans in Huntsville.
Big group down in Atlanta watching tonight, too. We've been hearing from those folks, so I know have been checking it out in Atlanta. Tennessee almost jumped but got back. Crook is in at quarterback now for UNLV, and he hands off to Omar Love, who is chased out of bounds. This is a comparison of Charlie Ward's first game when he won the Heisman his senior year, and Manning tonight. Charlie 18 of 26, 194. Manning 18 of 24, 296. So there's something to think about.
Yeah.
But it's still a long way down the road. The head-to-head battle between Manning and Warfel here on the 21st will have a lot to say about the Heisman vote, I guess. Pretty good run this time by Omar Love, going against the grain and picking up a little yardage before Gerald Griffin, freshman from Murfreesboro, drags him down. There's Kevin Crook, who probably started fall practice as the favorite to win the quarterback job. Here is
good little cut, good vision. He sees
Omar
all the way backside. That's a good run. Omar
Crook
Love
was beaten out by Denton, though, in the on the practice field. It was a nice rifle shot, but led Williams just a tad bit too much. Incomplete. Stops the clock. Exactly 1 minute to go in the season opener. Over 106,000 have watched here tonight in Knoxville. The traffic out of the city should be something else.
Don't plan on going anywhere.
I have no intention of doing that.
It'll be just like a parking lot on I-40.
They've added over 10,000 seats. I don't think they've added any parking, additional parking spots. But they come, and if we had 200,000, who knows? They probably would fill it too. Big rush, hard hit. Quarterback really drilled. Got his pass away, incomplete. Buck Buxton. Buck brings a load. He's going to be a valuable man, I think. He and Corey Terry both for the Tennessee defensive line this year. Clock has gone under 1 minute. Stopped on the incomplete pass at 54 seconds. Tennessee 62. UNLV 3. Tennessee's used 4 quarterbacks tonight. And a lot of running backs and a lot of other people. Crook. Let's go long. Defender there. Nice job. Dwayne Goodrich defending on Aaron Williams. Brings up a 4th down situation with 47 seconds to go. UNLV has no choice but to kick the ball away. They want to turn it over to Tennessee inside the 40-yard line. Vols have got a couple of men back. Goodrich is one of them.
They've got a penalty.
First bad kick of the night, and a flag is down as well. Here you see some of the fans who have decided to hang on. Just a shade of orange here and there in this crowd.
This one will probably get kicked over. Too many men.
I think it was one of the receivers, one of the kick returners was not supposed to be back there. They had two back there, and they were kind of looking at each other when the punt was made, so obviously one of them didn't belong.
Oh, they're not going to kick it over.
Clock now shows 39 seconds to go, and Tennessee's offense is coming back out on the field. T. Martin, I believe, is back at quarterback, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Ah, yeah. End of a long day there. But it's been a good day, right, buddy? Here's T handing off in the backfield to another new number in there. It's Chad Tipton.
We're getting through
Mr.
the double
Mattingly
numbers.
quickly going through his computer file quickly there and finding that name. Tennessee has used a ton of players. Well, of course they want a red shirt, some guys.
Right.
Other than that, they've used them all. Clock ticking down. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It is all over. Tennessee with a big, as expected, huge, impressive win over UNLV, 62-3. UNLV, quite frankly, not a very good football team to say the least, but they're a Division I team, and
right.
Tennessee won. They have guys on scholarship. They had a lot of junior college players they brought in this year. There's the attendance for tonight, smashing 106,212 in Neyland Stadium. And that's the final score, Tennessee 62 and UNLV 3. Your thoughts, Condridge, on the game?
Well, I thought the execution of the offensive line, what Tennessee wanted to do was get out and establish them and let them get a little more continuity. I thought they progressed as the game went on. I thought Peyton Manning made some good calls, and I think he did a good job calling plays and running the offense. So it's a good night for Tennessee, and I think their defensive linemen also got a lot of playing time.
I am impressed with those guys.
Yes.
Especially Terry and Buxton, who came in and looked good. Duff, who we expected to look good, and Barron and Green, I thought, played well tonight too.
Yes, he did.
So they're nice and deep at tackle. Tennessee has had good defensive ends in recent years, but not too much depth at tackle. They finally got that. And they win it tonight impressively, 62-3. Now they've got a week to prepare for another game right here in Neyland when UCLA comes in. Should be a happy coach down there, Missy.
Coach Fulmer, I don't think I've ever seen so many Tennessee guys play. How can you assess tonight?
Well, we want to play a lot of people. It's a long season. The more people that we have that can help our football team depth-wise, whether it's in the kicking game or offensively or defensively, the better team that we are. And we've worked at it and recruited hard for it, and they didn't come here not to play, so we give them a chance when we can.
You know, you've heard so much about Peyton, but talk about your other quarterbacks. They all looked good.
I thought Jermaine really went in and did a nice job with the offense, and he gives us a little bit different dimension. T. Martin and Sean Snyder have a lot to learn. I mean, they made enough mistakes tonight for 2 games, I believe, but it was great to see the defense make a couple of scores, and it's a big win for us. Now we got to get ready for the big boys.
All right, I'm going to get over here. Joey Kent set a record tonight. If I can get him over here. Hey, Joey, come on over real quick. Come on in here, Peyton. Everybody, come on in here. Terry Fair. Joey broke a record tonight. How do you feel?
I feel great. I think the offense came out and did a great job today. We set the tempo early, and Peyton kind of made it easy for us tonight, delivering the ball in the places where we need to catch it. And I think the offense and defense did a tremendous job tonight.
Peyton, around almost 300 early in the game.
I'll tell you, we got to start off on a good note. Defense got us the ball, had a lot of opportunities to score some points, and overall it was a good job by both sides of the ball.
Speaking of scoring points on defense, Terry Fair, talk about the secondary. You guys came to play tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's something we worked real hard all summer. We just got the mindset today. Tori Noel said some very inspirational words, in the meetings today. We took it to heart, and we just want to come out here and play a good game, and we did that today.
Guys, great way to christen the new stadium. Was it fun out here?
It was loud.
loud. Next week.
Next week, UCLA. Good job, guys. Score 62-3 with a lot of backups playing. Pretty impressive, guys.
All right, thank you, Missy. Nice job on the side.